Greetings, Divine Radiance. How are you today? I am Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting. I am a divine interpreter, psychic life coach, and mentor, assisting you with activating the divinity and wisdom within your soul so that you are empowered to create and live an abundant life. So we are on live for Wednesday Live and Power Hour. Every Wednesday we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on our channel. And you know what? Someone just joined. Let me know who you are. I'm about to get us logged on over on Zoom as well for IGTV. So I just did our intro. For those of you that are joining us on IGTV, I'm Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting, and you are watching the replay of our Wednesday Live and Power Hour. So who's with me? Hey, Pat, how are you? How are you? Listen, so today, you guys know my energy is usually really, really high when I get on Empower Hour. Oh, awesome. Pat is in the park walking. I will be so glad when I'm back doing that. I actually went and had injections in my spine yesterday, and that is going to be a series of pain management. I'll be doing that and my knee, and back in physical therapy. But yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to getting back into my working out because I truly, truly miss it. With the intermediate fasting, I have been able to continue to physically, in appearance, not look like I'm not working out, but I miss the way it feels working out. I actually came to love it. And you guys don't understand how big of a deal that is, because me and working out, I could never say I loved it before. And now I truly do. And I miss it. So yeah, Pat, I know you, hey, Mimi, I know you had brought up the intermediate fasting in our soul family. And it's been amazing. Like today, my mom and I went to do a few appointments. I told you guys earlier, I have a product shoot tomorrow, and I'm going to do a couple of headshots because all of my pictures have always been like full bodies out in nature. And so anyways, we went and did some girl stuff, and you guys, I haven't slept in like 4 days. I've gotten some major downloads, and I've been literally doing things like having sessions with family members until 8 a.m., falling asleep after that, and then waking up at 11. Like I literally woke up at 11:11, and it's been like that for the past 4 days because there's been a lot of upgrades happening with me. And so yeah, today I actually got out of my car and forgot to turn the car off. Good thing is push start because it beeped and let me know. And then I heard, I'm like, is the car on? So yeah, totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, with thank you, Spirit. With the intermediate fasting, my mom saw me today. She's like, you're getting smaller. I'm like, it's intermediate fasting because I'm surely not working out. But that was Spirit answering me, because when I surrendered, and our soul family and activating you helped me tremendously with that. But when I finally surrendered and accepted my new state of existing, and I stopped resisting it and feeling sad about it and worried about how things would change and, whether I would still enjoy working out, all these thoughts, and soul family helped me to really look at it and surrender. And then I'm like, okay, Spirit, what can we do? And so this is one of the ways. Spirit said cleanse. And then after that, I went straight into intermediate fasting. So let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Pat. Yes. And you know what the crazy thing is? The other day, I was like, I'm going to bed on time. And then I ended up talking to my son and his girlfriend. I call her my bonus daughter. And I was on the phone with him for like 4.5, 5 hours. And I was like, well, I guess Spirit had other plans, having a session with him. So and then session with my brother. And then even today, I had one with him this morning. And it's just like, I can feel it. Like, I know it's time for me to get some sleep. So yeah, so thank you. Hey, Michonne, how are you? How are you? Hi, Naya. Welcome. Welcome. So yes. So speaking of, and we'll get into our breathing in a second. Pat said, awesome. So the intermittent fasting is working. I've only been doing it this week. Yes. So when I first started, I started with 16 hours. So it's where I'll, fast for 16. And the beautiful thing about intermediate fasting is you're able to count the hours of sleeping. So I drink this. I showed you guys last time, I always shake it to get but I drink it with the chia seeds, and I put lime juice in it. And I've been drinking more water, a lot more water throughout the day. And then I'll eat my first meal, and I make it light. So something like fruits, or if it's not fruit, something really light on the system, because, breakfast is when we're breaking fast, and right. It is better to put something, or it serves, or it's good to put something gentle in our system. So I'll do that. And then I'll eat during that period, and I eat on a saucer already. And then I eat 2 to 3 hours, every 2 to 3 hours. But with intermediate fasting, I find that I'm not always hungry every 2 to 3 hours. So I'll just allow my body to guide me, but it's always on a saucer. So I'm also doing portion control. And then I allow myself to have whatever. After the cleanse, though, I really cut down on like sweets, and I cut down on fried and fast and eating out. And so, yeah, but then I found, like, now we went out to eat yesterday for lunch, and we did it again today, and we select healthy options. But I was like, oh, that's why Spirit said to cleanse once a month, in addition to what it does for me spiritually, because now I'm coming up to where I'm about to cleanse again. And then after I cleanse for another 7 days, then I'm going straight into the raw vegan from February 1st to the 27th. I'm going to do it all the way up until my birthday, which is on the 28th. So yeah, now I'm starting to get it, because when I get to the point where I'm like, maybe I like to go out, by the time, I spend like a week or two allowing myself to do that, I'm cleansing again, keeping my system clean. So yeah, it's been working. It's been working. So, yes. So are you guys ready to get into our breathing? So let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay. So those of you that are on, I believe all of you have been on before. And if there's anyone new watching, what we do every Wednesday is we start with our breathing, inhaling slow and deep through our nose. And I always suggest that when you're breathing, you really start at your feet, the tips of your toes, and you just bring that breath all the way up, hitting every one of your chakras. And don't over push it to be slow where it feels uncomfortable. Just do it as slow and deep as you possibly can, where it feels comfortable, right? And then go ahead and exhale out through your mouth as slow as you can, where it's comfortable, and just allow yourself to breathe in love, light, and healing, and then breathe out all that's no longer serving you. And of course, if there's something specific you're choosing to release, then you can focus on that through your breathing, okay? And so as you're breathing, what I'm going to do is send healing energy to your solar plexus and your heart chakra. But keep in mind, the energy is very intelligent, so it will travel wherever your body, your soul, and spirit is guiding it to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So slow and deep, inhale love and light through your nose. And then exhale slowly out through your mouth, releasing all that's no longer serving you. And as you continue to breathe in love, light, and healing, and you continue to release with your exhale all that's no longer serving you, I call in highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, and ascended masters, helpful companions, all of the highest light and love. I call on you now, and I thank you for filling this space. I thank you for using me a vessel to deliver messages that are rooted in highest light, love, and truth. I thank you for opening the hearts, the spirits, and the minds of those I'm called to serve today, so that they may receive whatever serves their highest good to receive. I thank you so much for keeping us grounded and rooted in truth and love. I thank you for healing all the things that keep us from vibrating at our highest frequency possible and loving ourselves. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue to breathe in that love and light, and continue to release all that's not serving you with your exhale. And I'd like you to bring your focus, bring your attention to the crown chakra located at the top of your head. And just give your crown chakra permission to open. Open your crown chakra now. And just allow yourself to feel that warm, loving, healing light from your highest source of power pouring in through your crown. And just feel that loving energy travel down to your third eye. Feel it traveling out to your ear chakras. Feel it traveling down to your throat and down to your heart. And just feel all that loving energy loosening and releasing all that's no longer serving you. And bring that energy down into your solar plexus and your sacral. Feel it traveling down to your root. And then just feel all that divine healing energy traveling down your pelvic, your thighs, feeling it traveling to your knees and your calves. And then feel it in your ankles. You may start to feel tingling sensations at your feet. Just go ahead and allow that energy to travel down, feeling it in the soles of your feet. And then notice as roots start to push through the soles of your feet, just give it permission now. And just allow those roots to penetrate whatever surface your feet are resting on. And feel it traveling, bursting through that surface and traveling down to Mother Earth, reaching her center, her core. And just take a moment to send Mother Earth love, gratitude, and healing. And just allow that energy to just feel Mother Earth. As you connect to her heartbeat, just feel her loving divine energy. And then bring her energy up through those roots. Feel it traveling up through the soles of your feet and your ankles. Feel it in your calves and your knees and your thighs. Feel it traveling up into your pelvic area, in your root, your sacral, your solar plexus. Traveling up to your heart, your throat, your ear chakras, your third eye, and up and out your crown. And just feel Mother Earth's loving energy connect to the highest source of love and light, your highest source of power. Bring those energies together, allowing them to intertwine, and then bring them back down into your crown and just feel it disperse throughout your entire cellular being. Setting the intention with every inhale throughout the rest of the day, you'll breathe in love, light, and healing. And every exhale through the rest of your day, you will release all that's no longer serving you. And so it is. And when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. If you feel more relaxed now than you did before, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling. Let me know. And then I hear Aaliyah singing, let me know. She sang it better than that though. So yes, you guys. So here's something that I would like to tell you, because when I made this announcement, no one was on with me. So one of the things that Spirit said is, let's clear this. One of the things that Spirit said is we are going to start having our Empower Hour be an hour, and then we are going to start having the second half of the mini readings be an hour. So what that means is I'll be doing 9 readings in the mini reading section. So if you're interested, you are able to purchase your mini readings during Empower Hour, because it's going to go according to who purchase a reading first, right? Because something that was brought to my attention is that sometimes Empower Hour feels like it goes a little long, right? And so with that being said, I know a lot of us enjoy it. I love chilling with y'all, talking to you guys, but what Spirit said, it's really important for someone that's on to get the message from beginning to end. And if it goes long and, half of you guys don't stay on, then you're really missing a lot. It all wraps in and ties in together, right? And it was named Empower Hour by Spirit, right? So Empower Hour is an hour, and then the mini readings will be an hour, and we'll do 9 readings during that time. So that was something I received from Spirit yesterday. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get started and see what message Spirit has for us. This is a new deck I got too, you guys, and I love it. I haven't used this one yet. I haven't even done pick a card readings with it. I just cleansed it and pulled a few cards for myself. So I'm excited. This will be the first time. And you guys know I'm going to be doing the Twin Flame journey readings. So I got 2 decks for those. And I did do one already. It'll be a weekly thing at least. Sometimes it may be more than a week on those if I'm guided. But let's see what message Spirit has for us. Whew. Okay, is it all of those or is it these? These? Okay. And I like this deck because it like depicts everybody, like all races, all sizes. It even just like, it's amazing. I love it because it just covers everybody, right? And I really, really love that. I really love that. Take this one. Yeah? Okay. And then that's it. So how are you guys feeling today? So, I was telling you all that I was getting upgrades, but you guys remember when we kept getting that message, Spirit kept saying, there's like a sense of urgency for us to get it together, answer our calling, right? Spirit is like, it's a sense of urgency. So what's happening is right now, right? We are in this extremely powerful energy. And I remember when I disconnected from everyone during what I was calling that 7-day sabbatical, the first one I did, what I was finding was from the bottom, we were being distracted and we weren't able to feel all that positive energy, right? So we were feeling more of the fear and the stress and the worry, we were feeling that. That was more on the surface. But when we disconnected from it all, we were able to feel all that positivity, right? And so, anyways, now we're here. So it makes sense why Spirit was like preparing us, like, now is the time, get prepared, do it, because I'm not the only one experiencing upgrades, The upgrade was woo, but I'm not the only one. So this is why Spirit has been preparing us, and Spirit has been saying it's time to heal those things that are keeping you from tuning into that. So I'd like to know how many of you are noticing a shift. It could be really subtle, but you can notice that it feels like you upgraded. It could be really huge, but have you guys noticed it? And if so, what has that been like for you? What has it been like for you? Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. For the deck, I ordered it off Amazon. And so it's called Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle Deck by Amanda Lovelace. Amanda Lovelace. And you guys, about 3 years ago, I channeled a deck. I believe it's like 42. It's been done, but I had someone who was going to do the artwork, and that relationship was one that had run its course. And so I've just been sitting on this, and there's someone on YouTube who shared a link of a deck she created. And so I clicked on it. So I'll be using them to create the deck. And then there's a graphic designer that's going to do a picture for me. I don't know why Spirit guided me to pay for that and to do that. And then it was like, you can use that picture as the artwork on the deck. So I'm like, so that's going to be coming this year too, is a deck that was channeled by Spirit. Spirit would tell me to write something. I'd be like, that don't make sense. And Spirit's like, just write it. And I'd write it. And it was like, it makes perfect sense. So I'm excited to share that with you guys when it's ready. Okay. So look, we have gray, and it says endings are inevitable. And it's 37, which is 10. We've been getting this a lot, you guys. We've been getting it a lot. And so what Spirit is telling us is, when I'm hearing the word gray, right? What I'm receiving is it's a clean slate, right? It's a clean slate. So, gray is a color that feels really neutral. And so Spirit is saying we are in a position right now where we are able to decide and choose what we like the next chapter of our life to look like and be like, right? You guys know surrender has come up so much for all of us. And I know that part of my up level was truly surrendering, right? Truly surrendering. You guys know I've shared it several times that when it came to my healing journey, once I chose to heal and I was on my path, a lot of things came through to heal. And those things felt really easy to heal, right? But with my twin flame situation, it seemed like that was just so tough. And it was all me, right? It was all me. It was all lessons that I was struggling with receiving, right? Because I was caught up in the 3D realm of it all, right? Spirit even said one time, that's because you're loving him from the 3D and it serves your highest good and his to love him from the 5D. And it wasn't until this recent upgrade that I truly got it, right? Which is why I'm now doing the twin flame readings. There was a time where I said, I truly feel like when I'm over this hump, there's going to be some way that this experience I'm meant to serve, right? And as I was doing the new website, Spirit already told me you're going to start serving couples too. You're going to start doing couples retreats. Like that was given to me about 2 years ago. And it's like, and then you guys are going to eventually serve together. But that was like my big hurdle, right? So now here I am in the gray area with the clean slate, choosing how I like the next chapter to be. I finally surrendered. Pat, I know you had a surrender moment that was amazing. I'm not going to say what it is. You can say it if you feel, you don't have to. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because surrender, it's been huge for all of us. And when you have been in that mode of it's been difficult to surrender and you finally do and it clicks, it's like you've just up leveled. Like that in and of itself was an up level, right? So I'm just so excited for you and so proud of you. So it's amazing. But yeah, Spirit is saying we're in this gray zone and it's really up to us what we're going to do with it. What else is coming through? Also, one of the things I'm being told to tell you is grounding is good, but sometimes we tend to get stuck in our forms of grounding. So like she's sitting on the dock of the bay. taking time is what Spirit is saying, not wasting it, but taking time. For some of us, we're being called to go to the water, right? And literally just sit here. This reminds me of when I go to the lake, like I'll literally put my feet in and hang off the dock and just sit there for hours and soak it in, right? One day it started raining. I'm sitting out there soaking it all in. So Spirit is saying step outside of your comfort zone, not just as it relates to things like your healing or things that happen in your day-to-day life, but also, okay, so healing is coming in two ways. So your regular forms of healing, right? Your regular forms of healing. So for grounding, most times we think, oh, let me go stand on the earth. Let me hug a tree. And Spirit is saying, start exploring other options. Remember when we talked about how oftentimes we will ground in the summertime because it's hot, it's warm, we feel comfortable taking our socks and shoes off. And Spirit was saying that there are some energies that we're totally missing by grounding only during a specific time of year. So it's a good idea for us to start getting out at different times of year and grounding, because there's so much energy that we're not receiving because we're in our comfort zone. This is coming through again. And so what Spirit is also saying is, it's time to encompass all that you are. I'm hearing Sister Can't Fly with Just One Wing. I don't know how many of you have seen the original Sparkle. That is like one of my all-time favorite movies, not the remake, but the original. And Sister says Sister Can't Fly with Just One Wing. And so what Spirit is saying, that's how we've been operating, right? We've been flying with just one wing because we've been caught in a comfort zone within our healing, right? So we stepped out of the comfort zone when we were choosing not to heal. And then when we stepped out of that comfort zone, we created a comfort zone within our healing. So now Spirit is saying it's time to push yourself out of that and encompass all that you are, right? All that you are. Everything that the divine is, you are, right? Everything that the divine is, you are. But if you're only allowing yourself to embrace the beauty of the earth and you're not embracing the beauty of the water, or air, or I'm missing one, or fire, right? Spirit is saying you're limiting yourself. And right now you're being called to no longer limit yourself. So let's see what you all are saying. Let's see. Hey, Maria, how are you? Pat said, feeling much better after the grounding. It served my highest good. And when we got to the end of it, I thought about the fact that you're outside walking. And I was like, that's amazing. I wonder if my sister just stopped and really stood there and soaked it in like that. So that I really thought about you when we got done. Naya said, okay, I got that. Michonne said, I feel wonderful. That tingling in my feet gets me all the time. Goosebumps. The reason I bring it up when I do is because I feel it too. So yes, and I love it. Yes, Michonne said, yes, I've been receiving shifts and uploads since November, but a lot more recently. Yeah, we've been in this energy. And you guys, this has come up before. The fact that because we're in such a power zone right now, they know that we're in a power zone. That's why there's so much effort being put into disconnecting us from our power. They're distractions, right? It's the old bait and switch method. People do magic, the sleight of the hand, right? That's what's happening right now. So you know how sometimes people will look at the state of the world and they'll be like, well, what's the real distraction? They'll say that because their soul is telling them, this is a distraction, right? This is something, a dangling carrot, so that you don't look over there, you look over here. But really, that's what we think it is, but it's so you don't look within, you look everywhere else, right? So that's what's happening, right? That's what's happening. It's like this. One of so when we think in terms of hate, right? Where does hate stem from? Hate really stems from fear. That's what it stems from, right? It really stems from fear. So whenever you feel hate from anyone or anything or situation, it makes it easier for you to stay in your zone and in your power even, because if someone fears you, right? We're all about breaking it down, right? We're all about breaking it down. Even when you're healing, you're unpacking, right? So oftentimes, what do? We feel angry, right? Anger is a surface emotion. So I'm going to ask you to go underneath that. What are you feeling? When you go far, far underneath, what you realize is I really feel sad, right? But not only is sadness more of a true emotion, but sadness is more vulnerable, right? It's more vulnerable. So when a person is hating you, when you start looking at it like you really fear me. You fear me. When you feel hated, it makes you feel sad. But when you feel feared, it's human nature to feel a little more empowered, right? But that really is where it comes from. So this is what's happening in the world. They fear us, right? They fear us knowing our power. They fear us remembering who we are. If we do that, if we do that, y'all know what it is. That uneffable, like y'all know what it is. So this is why there's so much effort to keep us from that. Let's see. Hey Alice, how are you? How are you? Alice says, so happy you shared about your Oracle deck. Oh yeah, because you told me to get it done. So Alice gave me a reading. Man, it was a while ago, but it was so on point. And Alice was used to also help me to take a look at some things, some people that I had around me, and just really enlighten me on a lot of things, even my twin flame journey. At the time, I wasn't fully ready, but that was like another, another layer peeling back to help me to get where I am right now with that, right? And Alice was like, just do it. Like, just get it done. Just do it. She said it really nice. She didn't say it like that if that didn't seem nice. She said it really nice. But, so that made me set an intention. That made me set the intention, like, Spirit, I'm ready to get it done. So then somebody comes along, I click a link and bam, there's the information, right? So thank you so much, Alice. So yes, as you can guess, Alice does readings and she does them on her channel and she offers them. So most definitely, if you're not following, do that. But yeah, so it's amazing that I'm finally moving forward with that. So Pat said, but I started a meditation class last week that has evolved my meditation practice tremendously. See, look at that same thing. We had been talking about your meditation in our sessions, right? That was something that was coming up for a while. And then Spirit was like, okay, that's enough. So notice we haven't really elaborated on your meditation in a while. So your soul was like, I'm ready, but a little bit of assistance with getting there. So Spirit was using me and others in our soul family. And then here you are. Now you were led to something to where it's improved, right? The same thing is what happened with Alice and I. Alice said, I'm just really happy it's here. Me too. Thank you. Me too. I sit on stuff. Like Spirit gives me so many things. And then I sit on it until the time is right. But I realize, and the time being right, you guys, is when Spirit guides me. Because I've come to know that Spirit, like the conference that's coming up, Spirit gave that, everything was about 2 years ago. Spirit gave that to me a while ago. And I was like, okay, Spirit, tell me when you'd like me to do it. The deck, Spirit used Alice to plant that seed, like, okay, it's time. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's when the time is right, is when Spirit says, now is the time. So, the oils, the blessed oil, like all that stuff. Spirit's been said do it, and now I'm doing it, which is why the product shoot is tomorrow. So yeah, so the time is right. Set that as your intention, that your time is right when Spirit guides you, right? That's when it's right. When Spirit guides you. And Spirit is going to be giving you all sorts of things. You're going to always be receiving downloads and information and guidance. So set the intention, Spirit. When you give me something, also make sure you give me the start date. Also make sure you guide me. And then when you set that intention, do so with the openness that it may not come to you for a while, or it may come right away. But when it comes, whether it's in a while or right away, you do it. That's a part of the surrender. So we have villain. It says, you can always rewrite the story. And look at that. She's near water. Again, you guys, there's so much water in the cards today. And then we have 11. The first one was 37, which is 10. And now we have 11. So we're also being reminded that everything is happening in divine order, divine timing. Trust it, surrender, take action. I'm being told to tell you, destroy those things within you that keep you stuck in a one-track mind, right? In a one-track mind. And what Spirit is saying is this: the one-track mind is the idea that everything has to go your way. Now, when we talk in terms of your way, Spirit is saying it's your way in this physical realm. It's your way in this physical flesh. And Spirit is saying when you do that, you'll begin to understand that everything is always going your way. And we've talked about this, how Spirit is truly our savior, right? Spirit is truly our savior because Spirit knows, okay, they come here with amnesia. They get all this trauma. Ego steps in, takes over. Unconscious mind leads them, which is usually coming from the perspective of a child. between 0 and 7. So really young thinking, right? Really young thinking until they heal that and grow their inner child up and get their unconscious mind on board with this mature spirit-led self, right? So that one track mind is just, oh, it feels uncomfortable. I feel afraid. And just like the divine, just like spirit, your highest source of power, the main purpose is your well-being. Well, that's the same with your unconscious mind or your inner child, your well being. So you may find yourself at times when you notice there's a conflict within, it's a good idea to ask permission. First, you're going to identify those parts of you, right? So you take some slow, deep breaths, right? Connect to the feeling. When you feel fear, connect to it, breathe. And just be still and just connect to it. Where do you feel it in your body? Once you connect to it, then you're going to breathe. And you're going to draw it out and then you're going to blow it out, right? And then once you do that, you ask permission for those parts to speak. And then you ask, well, what is your purpose, right? What's your purpose? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be to serve your highest good. So once you realize all your parts are on board with what serves your highest good, then you can begin introducing healthier, productive ways to get to the same point. So you can start to release that fear, right? Because now you know, well, we got the same goal. So let's do it this way, right? Let's do it this way. Sometimes it's just a matter of explaining. The same way if you don't understand something in your conscious mind, you ask questions, or if someone explains it before you do, then you're more at ease, right? And you're more on board to do it. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. Also, we talked before about how everyone plays a role. Some people show up as the villain. We've shown up as the villain, even in this lifetime in people's lives. Maybe it's not intentional. Sometimes it is. But either way, that's the role you agreed to play in their life, right? And sometimes people do the same for you. And so what Spirit is saying is, it's time to release that. So with this water card coming through, oftentimes we do our full moon ceremonies and we burn a lot of things. But right now, Spirit is saying, if that's your normal routine, it's time to switch it up, right? Write those soul contracts out. Write those soul contracts out, the ones that are no longer serving your highest good, and then go to the ocean, the lake, the river, whatever body of water is near you, have a ceremony, release those things that no longer serve you with gratitude. Now, you may also find, right, that you're not just using the water to release things, right? You may be connecting with the gods and goddesses of the sea, and you may be also writing new contracts. You may do both together. And I'm giving you these different scenarios because it may be different for everyone, whichever resonates with you. You may do both together, right? Where you write out the contract that you're choosing now, and then you send that on its way, right? You send that on its way. And again, with gratitude, thanking like it already is yours, right? So let's see what you're saying. Hey, Alata, we've been missing you. Let's see. Pat said, I was led to this class. Okay, I read that. Wait, no. I was led to this class as soon as they announced it. I jumped on it. That is so good. That is so good. And you know what? I'm noticing from what we talked about. And now look, and this here is the same. Like when you're being guided, you're doing it. You're doing it, right? And that is beautiful. You have now chosen to be out of your head and in your heart, out of your head and in your soul, right? You had already made the choice, right? You made the choice and then you got on board, right? Then you're like, you know what? I'm doing it. The choice is made. Now I'm doing it. And you're in your zone. So take a time to just really praise yourself for that, because this is really huge. Oftentimes we make all these huge accomplishments, right? And we don't make these huge announcements to our soul, like, good job, you did great. Like, this is a huge, huge, huge leap in the direction that serves your highest good. So Pat, I don't know if you've celebrated yourself, but whatever you've done, celebrate yourself more, because Spirit is saying this is a really, really big deal, really big deal. So let's see. We have Raindrops, you guys. Another water card, another water card, another water card. And it says, take a chance on them. Can you guys see the people in the cards? This is why I love this deck. It's like, it really just, and then I'm not going to show you what this one says because we're going to wait, but look at how it's just really, I love this about this deck. So it says, take the chance on them. So what's the message there, Spirit? And look, you guys, it's 12. And you guys saw me shuffling this deck. We have 37, 38, 39, 10, 11, 12, but it's also divine order from 37, 38, and 39 also. So what I'm receiving is some of you have been living in fear as it relates to love, and then also take the chance on them. Spirit is referring to you as them as well. And as that's coming through, what I'm being told is it also boils back down to we are all one and the same. So something really big that has been coming up in these conversations that I've been having, which is why I haven't slept in 4 days, is the fact that I am God, you are God, I am you, you are me, we are one and the same, right? And so what Spirit is saying, taking a chance on them, taking a chance on yourself, right? It's all one and the same. So sometimes you may be afraid to take a chance on others, and that's a direct reflection on how you're afraid to take a chance on yourself, which is where that lack of surrender comes from, that lack of action comes from. And then when you're living in that space, then others are afraid to take a chance on you. So let's break this down in terms of those of you that are building businesses, those of you that are applying for jobs, right? Those of you that are choosing relationships, those, when you really think about it, everyone is a reflection of how you're showing up for yourself. And I believe this came up in one of the pick a card readings. So if you're afraid to take a chance on you, well, then that job hiring you, that's taking a chance. You having a business and those clients hiring you, that's taking a chance, right? Love, that's taking a chance. So if you're afraid to surrender to the guidance that Spirit gives you, well, then you're not taking a chance on God, which means you're not taking a chance on you. And it all is a reflective mirror. So Spirit is saying, now is the time to take a chance on them, you, the divine, right? It's time for you to really just fully be in that mode of being Spirit led. Right? That mode of being Spirit led. So I'm going to share something with you guys. My mom and I, yesterday, I told you guys we went out to eat yesterday. And then I was like, oh, Mom, it'd be cool because after my spine injections, I didn't feel right. I was going to drive. And when I scraped my tire, I'm like, Mom, can you drive? So anyways, I was like, remember when I had Spirit guide me on how to get to ends when I had never been there? Like, let's do it. And she was on board. So as we were doing this, I was recording. I asked permission and she said yes. And then, there were times where it just seemed like we were just driving. And so a lot of messages from Spirit, like a lot of little lessons was sprinkled in that video. Now, normally what I would do is I would put them in pieces for people that don't like to watch the whole thing because they may get bored. And then Spirit said, no, you're not doing it like that, because those that wait to the end and watch this whole thing, they're going to get all these lessons sprinkled in, right? We even encountered a police at the end. That was a big one. So when the video goes up, I recommend watching it. So anyways, Spirit was just talking about that, right? So my initial thought was, well, people might watch. And when Spirit said that, it's like, okay, Spirit, that's what I'm doing. I took a chance because Spirit said, and when you take a chance on Spirit, you're not really taking a chance. You're guaranteeing success. But here's where that ties into this whole message. So although we had asked Spirit about, showing my mom how to get us home, right? Then we were getting to that lesson of there's no right or wrong. It just is. And there were just like lessons unfolding after unfolding after unfolding. But each time those messages came through, it was a result of my mom taking a chance. Right? And that taking of a chance is really trust. It's really trusting, right? And then that surrender is there is no good or bad. It just is. And that's what she kept saying, was that was powerful for her because she got many lessons that weren't necessarily what we intended it to be, but Spirit had something greater in store. So just that one lesson we would have received, which was her feeling like, oh, Spirit will just show me how to get home. That would have been a really small lesson compared to what she received by simply taking a chance, one chance after another. So it feels like that was kind of all over the place, but that's what I received. So that's what I'm going to give you. Let's see. Pat said, Yes, just left the water at the park, and this weekend I was at the beach. So amazing. I miss the beach. I miss the beach. That's why when I was looking at these cards, it just reminded me of all the places I like to go dealing with water. And I was literally like, oh, I miss the beach. But there's some beautiful, beautiful lakes here, beautiful rivers here too. Alice said, yes, it is a huge deal. Your life is transforming. The journey is spirit led. Congratulations and congratulate and celebrate you. Yes, a really, really, really big deal. And I believe that's for you, Pat. I believe that's for you because yes, yes, yes. Okay, so stars, you can manifest your every wish. Look at that. Okay, here's the beautiful thing about this card, you guys, because when I was showing you the people, did you guys notice that the ceiling was like that? Did y'all notice the ceiling? And Spirit is telling us we can manifest our every wish. But in order for us to do that, and notice the books behind them, right? They got the books, but the books are closed. There's books all around them. I got a book up there on my chest, right? And I find that it's been a really long time since I have read a book from beginning to end. And for a while, I was feeling like, Spirit, I feel like I'm supposed to be reading more. And Spirit finally said, Nahkila, you're doing what your soul is leading you to do. So I'll read a book, I'll get what I feel led to get, and then I'll put it down. I'll come back to it. And I have not read a book from front to back in a while. I read bits in this book, bits in that book. That's how I read now, right? And so, anyways, what Spirit is telling us through this card is what you're being called to do is trusting the divine, right? You are being called to connect to your highest source of power in a way that is outside of the realms of what you've been taught. So if you were to live in a home like this, where your ceiling was off and you had a view of the stars, they're studying the stars, they're studying spirit, they're studying themselves. They have access to those books, but what Spirit is telling us is we don't require something that is passed down from man in order to gain that extra level of intelligence. Yes, it's a good reference, but we have access to the divine. We have access to the divine, and when we realize that we're not lacking anything and there is nothing that someone else can give us that is more powerful than what we can receive on our own. Now, with that being said, we've all had mentors. We've all had, people that have come in and they have shined a light, right? They've shined the light to say, did you see this direction? Right? But even when I'm serving you, I'm not giving you anything you don't already have. I'm just reminding you of what you already have. And what Spirit is saying is oftentimes we feel that's another way of feeling powerless because we feel in order for me to know, I got to read a book. In order for me to know, I got to go to this person. No, these are just reminders of everything you already know. Everything you already know. Remember, I am God, and so are you. You are God, and so am I. I am you, you are me, we're all one and the same, right? So it's all there. It's all there. Also, what Spirit is saying is that when you are guided, right? When you are guided and you take that action totally in surrender, we've heard this 11 times, that's how you manifest. It's so simple. That's how you manifest. Just guide me, Spirit, show me the way. My mom and I talked about that too. So we were talking about how when my L&I stopped. Okay, so just recently I was in the bathroom sitting on the toilet taking a pee, and Spirit said, you can move now if you like, because you guys remember Spirit told me to live here. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why this was a huge test on my faith, because first of all, I had never seen this place. I didn't even see pictures because it was being built. They didn't even have pictures, so I had no idea except Spirit said this is the place, right? And then the price, I'm coming down south. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a lot cheaper. It was like right under $100 less than what I was paying in Washington State. So that was like, okay. Then I knew I was reaching the end of my L&I, and they just cut it off abruptly. They give you no warning. And at the time when I had my other mentorship, like I was literally treating it like a hobby. This is what Spirit says. Stop treating it like a hobby. You offer free things. So it's about an exchange of energy. If people aren't paying you, you cannot continue to mentor them because what you agreed to do, you're going to burn out, right? And I'm like, okay. So then I started to get comfortable in that, but moving in action, what Spirit was saying. So when they cut it off, I wasn't making enough to take care of me and my son. You guys have heard the story, most of you. And so when my L&I was cut off, I literally downloaded job apps, and Spirit literally says, so I thought you said you weren't never going to work for nobody. I didn't get a chance to look at jobs because as soon as I got done downloading, Spirit asked me that question. I was like, I did say that, Spirit. And Spirit said, so what you gonna do? You gonna trust or you gonna look for jobs? I was like, I'm trusting. I said, okay, Spirit, I'm trusting you now. Come through, show up and show out. And these are literally out loud conversations that I have with Spirit. Like it is another human being that I am depending on in the room, having a conversation. Like, all right, I'm trust you. Right. And so Spirit was guiding me and telling me what to do. And I could have been like, because literally when I had my other mentorship, if someone couldn't pay me, I would keep serving. I can't tell you how many people were in my mentorship that was happening to. This is why I couldn't take care of me and my son. What I realized is by exerting that energy in that way, those spaces were being filled by those that would have been paying me, right? And so Spirit said, but you do a lot of free things. And when I guide you, you'll do more. But right now, this is, so that was that, right? And then it happened. Spirit, I was just show me, show me, show me. Spirit was guiding me, showing me, guiding me, showing me. And I followed it. I did it, right? I didn't even get as much as what was anticipated as me getting, because in L&I in Washington, they don't pay you for pain and suffering, right? The big payoff is mental health. And for a while before I went on my healing journey, I really was depressed. You guys saw the pictures of me. That was depression from dealing with chronic pain, right? So I didn't even get that much money from that. I had enough to pay my rent with buy furniture with a teeny bit, because I didn't bring my living room furniture, just our bedroom stuff, right? Teeny bit left over. But that too, if I had been comfortable, remember when I shared with y'all when I left everything to my first husband thinking it was for my children, but it was really for me, because if I had taken everything I was entitled to, I'd be too comfortable to find my purpose. So if I had gotten comfortable through that L&I payment, I wouldn't have been moving along in the capacity of which I'm called to serve, right? I would have kept doing it how I was doing it before. So I couldn't even be upset. I was like, all right, Spirit, I see you. I see you. You knew I wasn't going to change nothing if I was comfortable. All right, it's cool, right? But the thing is, Spirit literally guided me. And if I hadn't listened, there's no telling. That was huge faith, you guys, because like I said, there were other brand new places that was like $300-400 less. And it was way up higher in a place where energetically I loved where it was located, but Spirit said, that's the place for you. So then I realized the moon. I had access to the moon so I could be outside doing that. I'm like, oh, that's why Spirit said. But recently Spirit said, it's up to you. And now I decided to just stay because it's expensive to move and I'm comfortable now, right? So yeah, so that was a huge leap of faith, because I could have got somewhere cheaper. I knew they were about to stop. I just didn't know when. I knew it would be abrupt. I just didn't know when, but I trusted. I had faith. And every time you trust and you have faith, it doesn't matter what your current circumstances are, what they look like, what they feel like, what they are like. If Spirit says do it, you will always have more than enough, more than enough, more than enough to be more than okay. So that's why I'm always stressing it. When Spirit tells you to do it, just trust, just have faith, just surrender, just do it. You don't always know what you're getting by doing that, but you do know it will always serve your highest good and it will always take you to the next level, right? So let's just see what you guys are saying. That was a long story, huh? Let's see. Hey, Cheryl. Let's see. Alice said the message will be whispered in your ear. Yes. At times it'll be a whisper in your ear. It'll be a vision in your meditation. It'll be a feeling in your gut, right? Set the intention that you will know, right? Because we all have access to all the available gifts, but it depends on which is easiest for us, which we can relate to more, which we fear less, right? Because for me, hearing was not my prominent gift. In the beginning, it was just knowing. Like I just always knew things, right? I also had a gift of being able to do this, read people's faces. I could tell you everything about you in that way. I could see something in a person's eye to know when they're telling you. Those things I still have, but because of this work I do now, it's hearing. But in the beginning, when my gifts were really coming through, when I first started this, like when I would get on to do readings for people, this was my process. I would get in a salt bath. I would be in there for at least an hour and I would meditate. I'd meditate and then I would see visions. And then I would just kind of put it all together and I would take notes. And then when I got in the reading, I would talk about what I saw and then I would connect with them and be like, so blah, 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 do you, this is what I'm seeing, and then and they were accurate, but that was so tough. That took way too long. So then hearing, which it was never really even a gift that I even recognized at first. But now that's the most prominent, and it's the easiest, which allows me to serve more in less time. Right. So yeah, and so the thing is, Spirit always says just don't go in it with an expectation, because if you're expecting to hear, but at that moment, Spirit is training you up for like your inner knowing or your sight, right? Or even your taste or your smell, because those are ways as well. I remember getting Reiki and I could smell my grandmother's perfume, and that's how I knew she was in the room, right? So we have access to all the gifts, but just be open. Just know and trust that Spirit will show me, Spirit will guide me, Spirit will reveal it to me, and then just release all expectation. And this is life in general, right? When I said, Spirit, show me, show up, show out, I didn't say, okay, Spirit, this is how much my bills are. I'm expecting you to do this at this time. Nope. I just said, I'm trusting you. Come through, show up, show out. I'm trusting you. And oftentimes I'll get the question, well, how do I stay and trust? Or if I'm going through something, my biggest recommendation is you don't wait until you're going through something to start calling on Spirit. You know how a lot of times people will be like, the only time people pray is when they're in the midst of the storm? No, you pray before it becomes an issue, right? You talk to Spirit before it becomes an issue. You stay in that connection before it becomes an issue. This is why mirror work is so important. Spirit tells us all the time, do mirror work, speak life into yourself. You pay attention to your stinking thinking, and then you switch it to the opposite, and you speak that to yourself every day. So now you're combating these things before they become issues, and you're shifting your vibration, and you're manifesting at the same time. And then you feel the feeling as if it's already yours, and then you visualize it, and now you're just in the zone. The more you do it, you're in the zone. You don't fall out because things are going well. A lot of people, when it's going well, it's looking good, feeling good, they fall off. They stop doing the things that got them there, and then they're like, well, wait a minute, why am I falling off? Because it's the never ending story. Remember, it's the never ending story. So yeah. So let's see. I'll say, yes, come through, show up and show out. Yes, I be having some conversations with Spirit, y'all. And now it's to the point I do it everywhere. Like, I don't care what people think. They probably wonder, what's wrong with her? She really, for real, talking to herself, like, whole conversation? Really? Really, I am. Yep. Alice said, conversation with Spirit are the absolute best. Yes, it is. It is. Because, that's the other thing, too. The message has come up before on several occasions. Oftentimes, we don't treat Spirit like we would a person. When in the mentorship, part of the thing that we do, and this happens a lot in the one-on-one, like the one-on-one is so much more in depth. Of course, the group mentorship is great. There are many members that are in the group that go far and they elevate and shift. Like, there's members in the group on right now, right? But with the one-on-one, it's more intense, it's deeper. Things happen a little deeper because it's just me and you for a full hour every month. And then you have access to me 24/7, Voxer. So if something comes up, you're reaching out, we're going through it, right? So that's the difference. But there's so many times where I'm like, okay, so what would you say to me if you didn't understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times Spirit will give a message. I notice people will just deliver it and be like, well, I don't know what that means. So I'll be like, ask, just ask. Number one, cancel the lead. I don't know, because you know everything, because you are God. God is you. And so am I. I'm you, you are me, right? So you have access to everything that the divine has access to. All you got to do is ask, and the Spirit will tell you, right? Just ask. But if you were talking to me and I said something, 9 times out of 10, you're going to say, well, Nahkila, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like Spirit is telling us to start talking to Spirit like we would anybody else. In fact, the relationship we have with Spirit is the strongest, deepest connection that there is. You know what I mean? That saying, you guys seen that meme when they say, sometimes I talk to myself because I could use expert advice, right? And Spirit is like, well, you're God and God is you. So talking to Spirit is talking to you. So yeah. Let's see what you're saying. Hi, Michaela. How are you? Let's see. Alice said, confirmation number 2, you make a blind man see. Oh, sister, let me tell all you guys. Speaking of blind man, okay? So we went to Slutty Vegan, last weekend? And listen, I was looking at that menu. I could not see. Now, last time we went, I could see the menu. I have glasses. I wear them when I'm driving, specifically at night. I'll put them on all the time. But anyways, I realize what's happening as things are elevating. This is important for you to know. When things are elevating, you will start to notice a difference in your human self, right? I remember when I started to really, really fully rely on spirit for guidance, right? And there was a time where I think I shared this where I was like, I used to be so smart because my brain was just fried. Like, you remember them commercials? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Well, that kind of feels like your brain on spirit when you go into that total surrender mode. Like, seriously, it was like without being guided, it was like my brain wasn't functioning. It was the weirdest thing ever. And for a minute, I was like, what's happening? And then spirit explained. I was like, okay, I'll deal with that. That's great. Now I'm excited, right? And so when I couldn't see, I realized what's happening. I'm experiencing another upgrade. So the more we get connected to spirit, then the less we rely on these human senses. And then once we build that connection, then those senses come back. So right now, my eyesight is being affected weird. But okay, let me go ahead and finish with the cards so that I won't run out of time to get the cards. So we got dragons, slay them all. And look, you guys, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. So we went to those double digits, then we went to the 5 and 6. So dragons, slay them all. We have surrender your ego, which came in reverse. It says cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. I got a story about ego too, just happened today. We have surrender stress. It says take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Okay, that applies to the story I got to tell you guys too. Look at spirit. It says bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps you shift to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. And then we have, I'm not even showing the pictures, huh? So that's that one. This is this one. And this is this one. So it says, I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance. Let's say that. I cannot tell stories of shortage and experience abundance. I can't run around talking about I'm broke and expect not to be broke. This came up, I believe it was in the Every Day is Payday when I was wearing that t-shirt. Who requested that? Somebody requested that as a topic. It was our sister. I'm not going to say people's names because I don't know how you feel about that. But anyways, one of the things that was coming up was like oftentimes if we are asked a question, we've been taught to speak of things the way they are, the way we're experiencing it like right now, right? But if we start talking about it the way we're choosing it to be, now we're creating it, right? Because if I was broke a second ago, I got a choice to no longer be broke. So if you ask me, even if I don't necessarily have it in this moment, guess what? I am choosing to create the abundance required for, as opposed to I'm broke, I ain't got it, right? So we almost feel like we're speaking falsehoods by speaking that way, but that's because we've been programmed and trained to speak that way. But if we were programmed and trained to speak in the way that empowers us to create, then that would feel normal, right? And it says, continuing to tell stories about shortage only continues to contradict your desire for abundance, and you cannot have it both ways. You cannot focus upon, it says unwanted and receive wanted. You can't focus on what doesn't serve your highest good and receive what does. You cannot focus upon stories about money that make you feel uncomfortable and allow into your experience what makes you feel comfortable. A different story will bring different results. My thoughts are the basis for the attraction of all things that I consider to be good, which includes enough money and health for my comfort and joy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off for IGTV. If you're on IGTV, click the link in the bio, subscribe to YouTube so you can get this whole message. You can get all this work. And we're going to finish up our hour here on YouTube. Okay. So here's the story with the ego and stress. Okay. So I told you guys how I've been having these tremendously long sessions with family members, right? After this major upgrade that occurred, we've been having like tremendously long sessions, and they've been rewarding it. Like I said, I just haven't slept in 4 days. So anyways, my brother and I, my god brother and I, we had been talking, and I was so excited because my brother and I used to talk a lot, but when I went on my healing journey, it was to the point where our frequencies were so unmatched that we weren't talking as much. I just didn't have the mental or energetic capacity to give him the time because of the. So anyways, I was excited because he started healthy after our first talk, and I was just really excited. And then today something shifted, right? Something shifted. And during these conversations, Spirit was literally showing how everything is interconnected. It's like Spirit will say something. Everything that we experience is a seed being dropped. So Spirit would say something in another conversation, and then in another conversation, it would come through showing the relevance and how that was a seed that was relevant at the time that's now relevant again, right? It sounds really simple, and it is, but the way it was happening, it was the coolest thing ever. I even found myself going, cool, this is so cool, huh? And so anyways, today we had a conversation, and he was just fighting me. And it was something triggered within him. And so it got to the point where when I laid down to get my lashes done, it was like I was bringing myself back to center. And because I know that everything is holding up a mirror, so it wasn't just him. Anytime he's doing something, I know I'm doing something too. That's just how it works. So then I'm like, okay, Spirit, the fact that I feel this way and I'm bringing myself back to center, that means that there was something that was happening with me. So what was he triggering in me? And I realized it was my ego. The reason my ego had been engaged is because I was so excited that finally he's about to do the things to get healthy. He's about to live this life that he just loves. You know what I mean? We're about to start talking again because now we're about to be vibrating the same. So it's not going to feel energetically draining. And what that showed me was you have become very good at being a detached witness when you're serving your soul clients. And I love my soul clients, right? And typically I'm good at it with family too, but clearly I haven't fully mastered it. So that made me look at that, and now I'm choosing to master it. So I apologized to him. And then and it was just like this big old, you know what I mean? It was amazing, but it was ego and stress that took over, right? So Spirit is just telling us that how everything is interconnected. It's important for us to begin looking at how it's connected and remembering that anytime we're experiencing something, instead of focusing on that person or that situation, always bring it back around to self, right? Always bring it back around to self. And by me doing that, if I had been in that energy of he's tripping, he's this, he's that, and didn't take the time out to see where I was tripping and I was this, then 9 times out of 10, energetically, he would not have come back, right? Because he's reflecting my energy and I'm reflecting his energy. But I can't worry about him, just me. So by me looking at me and coming back with that apology, his energy was matching, right? By him doing it, my energy was matching. So Spirit is saying that we're being called to surrender stress and ego. And I'm hearing by any means necessary. With Slay the Dragons, what Spirit is saying is that these are the demons that we carry within us. Now, here's something that had been coming through a lot over these past few days when I've been talking to family, is that sometimes, right, it's our demons being aggravated. Now, as light workers, we talk about the demons of others, but we don't never be like, it's my demons being aggravated. We don't even like to admit that we have demons, but we do. We do. So slay them all. Originally, when I saw that, it's like, oh, slay them all. I'm thinking Spirit talking about those that we fighting against on the other side. But Spirit said, no, slay them all of our internal demons, right? And the dragons represent protection, right? So while we are doing our work, we are being protected, right? While we are serving, we are being protected. But Spirit is saying we've been getting the message to evaluate ourselves. We've been getting the message to do that with curiosity and not judgment. This is the only way we're going to recognize these demons that have been hiding in the castle that we didn't even know they were there. But once we set the intention to slay them, they start coming out the woodworks. Like, look, these little dragons, they just coming on out, flying all around. And she's like, oh, I got this little sword and look at what I'm up against. But then she knows that she has a weapon that's beyond anyone here, and that's Spirit. So she knows that nothing can defeat her as long as she's got Spirit. And that's what we're being called to remember. Nothing can defeat us as long as we've got spirit. Not no how we feel like I can't manifest that. I can't do that. Spirit may tell you. You guys remember when I shared how I had just gotten a payment for that retreat from 2018? And I'm really responsible with things like that, right? It's not like I'm just reckless, like, woohoo, I got this money and I'm finna go spend it. No, that money was going towards the payoff of the retreat, right? And Spirit told me to pay for a yoga class in full. And this was not a cheap yoga class, okay? I mean, their entire payment went to that yoga class plus some. And I'm just like, okay, Spirit, I'm gonna surrender. I'm trusting. And again, my favorite thing, come through, come show up, show out, Spirit. I'm trusting you. Like I literally, it's almost like I'll be like, all right, Spirit, you telling me to do this. I'm do it. But you're gonna have to come through, show up and show out. You know what I mean? Like it's really like that serious. So, it was the same thing. Spirit was testing me. Spirit was testing me. That was huge. What would have happened, right? If I had lost faith and I did it and then I lost faith. So when we do it, we got to also maintain that faith. Well, there's a possibility I would have been out of that cash and wouldn't have had a way. And that would have been an even bigger situation. But when I said, okay, I was committed to that unwavering faith. And it was a blessing. It was a blessing that came from it. And Spirit showed me that I have your back. I will never fail you. I will never fail you. All you're called to do is trust, surrender, take action, and maintain that unwavering faith. And that's all we're all called to do. It doesn't matter if we're choosing to manifest something. It doesn't matter if we got enemies up against us. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. When we hear that Spirit is all knowing, you guys, Spirit is all everything, the beginning, the end, the Alpha, the Omega, and everything that Spirit possesses, we too possess. This is the tattoo I told you guys. Can you see that? Can you see that? And look at my bra, y'all. It looked dirty. It's only because I wear Vaseline on my skin. So my little, these kind of bras, they do look dirty because it's Vaseline. But look at that. I am God is, right? And I broke that down to you guys. What that means is I am goddess. I'm a goddess, right? I am capable of all that God is because I am God. I am capable of all that God is capable of because I am God, right? And this is what we're being called to remember. We are a reflection of the divine. Everything that the divine possesses, we too possess, right? We too possess. So Spirit is just remind you each week in some way, shape, or form, the same message comes through. And Spirit says it's going to keep coming through until you get it. If Spirit moves you towards something and you're still delaying or hesitant, the message is going to come through. If Spirit tells you to release something and you still hold on, the message is going to come through. If Spirit tells you to change your eating or get moving and you still eating the same or you still sitting on your butt, the message is going to come through. If Spirit say let that relationship go and you still hold on, same thing. If Spirit say start that relationship and you scared, same thing, right? So yeah, that's the message we have today, you guys, for our Empower Hour. We did pretty good. It's 6:07. Once again, divine order, 6 and 7. 6 and 7. So yes. So how are you guys feeling? Let's see what you guys are saying. Let me move. Some of these notifications popped up. So now the screen, I'm not able to see the messages. 6:07. I'm gonna look that up too. So let's see. Let me go back because I feel like I missed something. Alice said, exactly. Talk that good shit, sister. And then Alice said, you build a relationship, a real relationship. Yes. Pat said, thanks for the confirmation. I have recently been talking to Spirit like my companion. Yes. Alice said, yes. Pat said, oh, wow. Now I get why I've been having the brain fog. Yes. Listen, I was literally in Slutty Vegan laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, I really cannot see. I cannot see. And I could see the last time, but I'm like, this is just directly connected because I remember what Spirit said last time when I was like, my brain, like, I feel like what happened, But it's exciting. Now it's exciting because that means like you're just elevating into that God-like state. And as that happens, like I said, your physical self just kind of takes a back seat for a while you get acclimated. And then once you're acclimated, I mean, there are times, of course, where if it's your eyesight, it may not reverse all the way back, and it can, but it will get you to the point where you are exactly where you're called to be. Like now, I feel more intelligent than I ever have because I don't rely on my brain anymore. Literally, I ask spirit everything for everything. My mom and I will be out and about and I'll ask her something and she'll answer. I'll be like, Mom, did you ask spirit or is that you? Like, that's my forever question. Mom, did you ask spirit or did you ask you? Because if I ask you for advice, I'm not asking you. I'm asking you to ask spirit. And I don't want no advice. I ain't taking no advice if it's not coming from spirit, you know? So, yes. So let's see. Pat said, oh, wow, now I get why I've been having the brain fog. Okay, I got that. Michonne said, it's so funny because I have conversations with spirit like that at work. People used to look at me like I'm crazy, but now they're used to it. Speaking of that, so when we were doing the video, right, I mentioned to you guys, I was like, I told you guys I'm silly. I said, and they probably think I'm putting on for the camera. So I was like, Mom, am I like this all the time? And I felt like what she was saying was I'm actually worse. I'm actually worse. So I was like, have I been like this my whole life, even when I was a kid? So let's see. Pat said, this has been so good. Unfortunately, I've got to run. I have an appointment. No worries. No worries. You right on time. Enjoy your day, Pat, and drive safe. And thank you for joining us. Alice is smiling. Pat said, I'll listen to the replay. Love you guys. Love you too. Love you too. Cheryl said, love you too, Pat. And let's see. Alice said, there could be demonic play going on around you, but know and believe spirit always got you. It's so true. And listen, I remember when Ganesh, right? I can always tell what spirits are in my house, and I can tell from how Ganesh responds. Like I can always see when he sees spirits, you know? And so anyway, oh, speaking of seeing, so after that experience as Slutty Vegan, I saw something in my room and I was like, okay, so we doing this now? Oh, okay. I've seen fairies in my room. I don't mind the fairies, but oh, we doing this now? Okay. I did say I'm ready to have them all come in full force. So, okay, I meant that. So here we go. But anyways, so Ganesh, the way he was acting, I knew that there was something in my house. And so during one of my sessions with Gillian, I had shared it with her and I didn't feel threatened. I just knew it was something in my house. And Gillian was like, it's not an energy that's malicious. It's just an energy that doesn't belong there, right? It's not good. It's not bad. It just doesn't belong there. So then she walked me through some ways to release it, which weren't my usual ways of doing it. It was literally getting some alcohol, put the alcohol in a bowl, walk around the house, allowing the alcohol to absorb this energy and then placing it outside and then pouring it out, getting rid of it. And so usually, I smudge and I do other ways. So I was like, I don't have alcohol, but I have wine. Is that cool? She goes, yeah. So I used some red wine to do it. But yeah, without Ganesh, I may have felt it. I was feeling it, but it wouldn't have been the same. Me seeing him and how he reacts is what let me know, So that's another thing. I remember when Ganesh was little and it was like having a toddler that was always messing with everything. That was lessons for me too, because I like my home to look like a model home. And Spirit was like, just get used to it. You're meant to keep him. So I'm like, oh no, it might be time for me to find him another forever home. And so I listened and I realized that he's also a protector. He protects me in so many ways. So even when Spirit guides you on something like that, if it's out of your comfort zone, you just never know the why. You never know the why. Who knows what would happen if I didn't have Ganesh guarding me? He's literally my protector. He's one of my forms of protection. So yeah. I would say yes. The feeling. Yes, for sure. Michonne says Spirit got my front, side, and back. Ashe. Yes. Whew, man, you guys, this was good. This was so good. I'm actually, I am claiming sleep. I'm getting some sleep tonight. Y'all go ahead and send that vibe to me that tonight will be my night. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting headshots tomorrow too, because it started just a product shoot. So it's important to get some sleep. So I'll be looking all burnt out. But we're going to move into the, yes, Alice said they will alert you for sure. Like I can see it in his face. Like when it's a positive spirit, you can see and you can feel it in his energy too. And when it's something that doesn't belong there, the way he be looking, or he'll even sometimes Ganesh will just be guarding like the entrance. He'll just be guarding it, he'll just guard it. And then I'm like, oh, look at you guarding mommy, guarding the house. And I promise you guys, I call him my little teacup panther because of the way he walks. He's part Siamese. I don't know what else he is. He's a mix of Siamese and something else. But you guys have seen Ganesh. He doesn't look Siamese, but the way he walks, like he literally reminds me of a little panther. So that's why I call him my teacup panther. But yes, so we're going to move into the mini readings. The mini readings are 25 per question. If any of you would like to get one, I'm going to share the link here. And if you're not getting one, but you're able to stay on, I always recommend that you do, because in between time, I actually deliver messages, and also sometimes the messages for others resonate with you. I'm going to look up 607 because we did get that from Spirit. And if you're on and this video has resonated at all, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let's see what 607. I was wondering too if Spirit was giving us a number today. So let's see. What's the message behind 607? It says number 607 is a blend of the energies of number 6 and powerful number 0 and the mystical influences of number 7. Number 6 relates to love of home and family, domesticity, business and material aspects, service to others, and selflessness, responsibility and reliability, expressing grace and gratitude, providing for the self and others, care and nurturing. Number 0 is the number of the universal energies source, the beginning point, eternity, infinity, oneness, wholeness, continuing cycles and flow, developing one's spiritual aspect and connecting with the higher self, and denotes freedom from limitations. Number 0 also amplifies the energies of the numbers it appears with. Number 7 relates to study and learning, spiritual awakening, divine and inner wisdom, emotions and feelings, mysticism, empathic and psychic abilities, persistence of purpose and determination, and good fortune. Angel number 607 is a message and congratulations from your angels and the universal energies. You have been listening to your inner wisdom and intuition and have been relevant and necessary changes in your and have made relevant and necessary changes in your life to better suit who you truly are and your personal truths and values. You are fully aligned with your desired life path, your destined life path, and soul mission, and your angels support and encourage you in your actions and are pleased that you are living your life in an open-hearted, loving way. Angel number 607 is a message that you are being applauded for having the courage to live and express your spiritual truths. Know that your life purpose involves illuminating the way for others. Your angels encourage and support you on your life mission and choose for you to trust that all of your material and monetary needs will be met along the way. Angel number 607 indicates that new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way that you view yourself and the world around you. Listen to the small, insistent voice within you to find the truths that resonate with your unique level of understanding and allow your spiritual gifts to expand through meditation and prayer. And this breaks down to number 4. That's really powerful, and it really does resonate with what we've been receiving from Spirit thus far. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Listen, you guys, also I have something to share with you. So, okay, so this morning I woke up at like 5. And at first I'm like, I want to go back to sleep. But then it was like I went and grabbed my phone out of the bathroom. You guys know I don't sleep on my phone. And so I was just led to leave messages. But the way it started was I was looking for one of my old mentors. Like I went and put her name in because I just felt like leaving a message and just showing some gratitude. And I felt like, you know, as I was doing that, it started that way. And then I started receiving like messages like she could use a boost, right? And I was doing that. But when I went to click on her name, I ended up in somebody's inbox. I don't even know this person. I don't know this person. We ain't never talked. And so Spirit gave me a message for them and I delivered it. And I say it must have been like 15 people. They just got random messages that they said resonated. I'm grateful. But the first person asked that I have Zelle. And I have Zelle only because my uncle had sent some money one time. I've only used it for that one time. And so anyways, I told her, I said, my normal response would be, no, that's okay. I didn't do that for that. Right. But then I said, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say thank you, because that would be my normal response. And Spirit has said that when someone is willing to do an exchange of energy and give us something like that, and we turn it down, because oftentimes as light workers, we're like, no, that was coming from my heart. And so, no, you don't have to do that. But now we're robbing them of their blessing, because it's like a domino effect. She felt blessed by the message, right? And I was just like, Spirit told me to, and I'm grateful you allowed it. You listened. I'm like, thank you for opening to receive. That's how I feel when I deliver messages that folks didn't ask me for. Their 3D self, their soul self did. That's what was there. But anyways, so she goes, I'm sorry, is what she said. That is, if I had more, I would give more. And I literally got chills. And then I started crying. Y'all that know me know I'm a baby. And I was just like, please, please, please release that sorry, because I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't asking for anything. And so when I looked at how much she gave me $10, right? And so I got really excited. Y'all know I'm the one that said, if I find $1 on the floor, I'm acting like it's $1 million, right? But what was so significant with that was the fact that it's 10. The number 10 is so powerful, and it was aligned with everything that's been happening. So I'm super excited. You know what I mean? So one of the things that Spirit is telling me why I'm being led to share that is because of the fact that, number one, we can't always be the giver. Like, we just can't. We cannot always be the giver, because by me allowing her to return the service, right? She was receiving a whole nother blessing. And then from that service return, I received a blessing just with that number 10. It wasn't even so much about the dollar amount. It was the number 10 that was super significant, right? So Spirit is just telling us to be open. We talk about being the teacher and the student all at the same time. So now Spirit said it's time for us to be able to be the giver and receiver. I've also shared how when Gillian and I met, I was Gillian's life coach. Gillian came to the first Activating You retreat. I served Gillian there. And then we went into a space where Gillian became a part of my weekly maintenance. And she still is, right? She still is. And so now it's like the tables are turning to now where we're both serving each other at the same time. So when for me serving her, apparently, because you're still always being served when you're serving, even if it's that energy of serving others, holding you accountable. That helped me a lot, you guys, being able to serve you. It helps me stick to things. It helps me do things by serving. It keeps me reminded, right, when I'm serving. And now it's like we're serving each other together at the same time. It's beautiful. It's just an exchange of energy. Spirit's just saying, just welcome that exchange of energy. And if you are someone that struggles with that even exchange, explore that, because I struggle with that big time. For a long time, I struggled with that, being able to receive from others. I had this feeling of I couldn't accept kindness, you guys. And to this day, I cry when people do kind things for me. Like, I still cry, but it's the love, it's like that feeling of love. It makes me so emotional. Does that make sense? But now that Spirit has brought it to my attention, I'm able to accept it with a simple thank you. I was always that person. If you do something for me, I got to find how I could do something for you. And then Spirit will say, just say thank you. So now I'm like, thank you. And it becomes easier every time. So I don't know, somebody could use that message, because sometimes I get messages. I feel like, Spirit, why are we doing this? Why are we talking about this? Somebody. So let's see what you're saying. Oh, thank you, Alice. Thank you. Sean said, okay, I saw that. Awesome. Thank you, Michonne. Okay, awesome. Okay. Alice, thank you. So Alice will be first for the reading. And if anyone else sent anything over for your reading, let me know. And then it'll go according to the order it's received. Let's see. So there's I keep saying I'm going to get my brother his own Cash App, because I have almost $3,000 in my Cash App that belongs to my brother. And I always, I keep note of his money, but I'd rather him just have his own. Okay. So Alice, did you send it through Cash App or did you send it through PayPal? Because I'm not receiving, it hasn't come yet. Let me know where you sent it. Yes, it was. And it was just like, originally I was like, but then Spirit was like, no, allow it, So that was like the thought in my head. So I didn't even get to the point of saying it to her. Usually I would have definitely said it to the person, and Spirit was like, nope, cancel, delete that thought. You just say thank you. So yeah. I know, right? It's amazing. But you guys remember, we've had that talk where oftentimes we do things like, I also shared how with the retreat the retreat we have coming up is the 2021 Activating You retreat, but it was originally for 2020, but with COVID, it got postponed, right? So I shared how at that time, Spirit told me to have it where part of the retreat bonus at the time was being in the group mentorship for a year. And so at that time, Spirit was like, well, don't have any minimum monthly payments, right? So there were several people that were in the mentorship for a year. And literally the payment that I received was the down payment to hold their spot, right? So essentially they got a whole year minus the down payment for free, right? Now, I realized Spirit told me to do it that way. And there was a reason, right? There was a reason. So I wasn't upset at all. But there was also a lesson there. There was a lesson of lack, right? It was like, well, retreats are kind of high. So if I do it this way, that was total lack. So being in lack, I ended up serving for like a very small amount, the down payment, right? And so I looked at that. My lesson was not to be in lack. And then I looked at it, well, I was meant to serve these people, because now I look and I see them doing great things. And I also said my payment is not going to always come from each individual, right? And so there's times like that where Spirit will guide you to do things and you just do it and you just surrender. And then you just accept that I'm going to always get paid one way or another. Spirit's going to bless me. So if I'm not so busy looking at it coming from this source, I can be open to receive it from other sources, right? I had someone send a donation just because the pick a card reading resonated. It's things like that. When you do something from your heart, then sometimes Spirit will say, remember that time so-and-so didn't do so-and-so, and you accepted it, and you accepted the fact that I told you to do it that way, and you were happy, right? You were happy. Well, here's your blessing, right? So Spirit is reminding us, not just those of us who serve in that capacity, but in life in general, right? Just remembering Spirit's always got our back. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So general, right? General. Okay. I had got these little things from Costco, and I gave all the torches away. And then I ended up with the one torch. See, Spirit knew Spirit was. I'm saying it out loud to you guys, because every time I do it, I'm like, this torch don't even blow out. Spirit knew what Spirit was doing, because I was way too excited about my little torches. So probably if I had the ones that had more. This one, after a while, the torch goes out. It don't blow as far. If I had the ones that I gave away, I might have started a fire, not on purpose, but they had like four regular lighters like this one. And then in the pack, and then you had one of these, and it was like $5 for all those. So I burned candles and sage so much that I got like 2 or 3 of these packs, because you can't beat that. You get one of those regular lighters and it's like almost $4 just for one. Okay, so I know, seriously, I be taking, when wax is on the candles, the ones that I use for spell work, energy work, I don't do nothing to how those come out. But just like I have a candle burner now, I be taking it and getting that wax off, preserving my candle. Okay, Spirit, what message do you have for Alice? I'm being told to pull you a few cards. $20. Oh my gosh, yeah, see? This is for Alice, Spirit. What message do you have for Alice? Info for, ooh. Oh, okay. From the top too. Whoa. Okay. That's cool. Oh, 5 at Costco? Yeah. So you have feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. And I don't know why this woman reminds me of you for some reason. I don't know if it's energetically or... And then you have expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. And speaking of fairies, you guys, see, I love the images of these cards. Oh my goodness. It says, voyage, you already have all the answers. And look, near water, see the well. And I know that there was a message that came up for you before about spell work and water. And okay, so what's the message here? And also the elements. And as I'm looking at these cards, I'm really feeling the elements. For this one, this is giving me fire. This one is giving me earth. And then with the fairy, it's air. And this one is giving me sea and some air too. Those shooting stars are just reminding me of sea. So what message do you have for Alice? I'm being told to tell you it's time to treat yourself more. It's also time for you to take a break and slow down. What I'm being told is all work, no play, right? Spirit is saying it's time for you. It's not like you're being told to like stop working, but more balance, right? More balance of your energy. You too could use more sleep, even if it's at odd times of day. So Spirit is saying you may not necessarily sleep at night, but even if it's at odd times of day, it's just about making sure that energetically you're healthy, right? Your energy is feeling a little drained lately. And your playtime has been at a minimal. I'm being told to tell you to connect to your inner child and allow your youthful spirit and your youthful glow to come into play. And it's coming through like, what are some things you enjoyed as a child to do more of those things? Okay, so whenever I'm connected to your energy in the way of you serving, it's so nurturing and it's so mother-like and it's so loving, right? And that is your dominant type of energy, right? It's like it's dominant and it feels so good. And it feels so good that most people will pull from that, right? Because most people are not connected to their highest source of energy. And when Spirit is saying that, it's not the same as their highest source of power the way we think about it. It's their own energy within. So they become energy vampires and they pull from yours. And a lot of trauma that people experience has to do with traumas dealing around parent issues, mommy issues, specifically people that you're encountering. So there's just a lot of tug on your energy, which is why it's important for you to connect to your inner child more often and in a deeper way. And it's coming through. It's not even so much about healing your inner child. It's just taking a break from that mothering. You heard that myrrh, and then you saw the whale. So we're going to see about that. That mothering energy that makes everybody gravitate towards you, right? When you're able to be in that childlike space, it gives you a break from that. So it's kind of like the sabbatical that Spirit puts me on at times and tells me to disconnect and just be in my own energy, not even TV or phone or any of that. It's coming through in the same way. Connecting to your inner child is your form of being in that different energy. I'm hearing like the shake up. I'm saying like shake it up. You know what I mean? Disconnecting. That's what that does for you. And then Voyage, you already have all the answers. Well, I'm saying in my head, duh, duh. Not only do you have all the answers because you are God and God is you, but you're also very much so connected. And so what I'm being told to tell you is now access and open that next level, that next chamber within yourself. So Spirit is saying it's definitely time for you to receive another major upgrade, like a major upgrade. And I feel like you've been getting upgrades, like small ones, right? That you've noticed, and they're small in comparison to this big, huge one that's coming. Like you're in the energy, but it hasn't fully made its way there. And the way it's going to do that is if you take this time to connect to your inner child and be in that childlike space. And it's so funny this is coming up, right? Because I've been saying, what am I going to do for my birthday? I haven't decided if I'm going to drive to Orlando and go to Disney World and Universal Studios or just do a petting zoo somewhere around here. But I've really been feeling like spending my birthday doing things for my inner child, right? And so now Spirit is saying this to me for you, and I feel that there is definitely a connection there as it relates to the up level. And as I'm saying that, what I'm being told, it is because of the fact that, right, it's our way of nurturing self, and as a collective, always being the giver. Been the giver. There's a time for us to be the receiving one. By connecting to your inner child, you are now giving to yourself and allowing your inner child to receive. So Spirit is saying that it's not just a matter of other people giving and receiving that beautiful exchange of energy with them, but it's a beautiful exchange of energy within self. And then especially you add on the fact of being a mother, that's a whole nother level of neglecting your own inner child, right? So even if you do self-care like sacred baths and ceremonies and rituals and things for your spiritual health and cleanliness, Spirit is just saying you've been neglecting your inner child just a little bit, and it's time for you to no longer do that. You're also being called to spend time at the beach, spend time near water. And what was the thing with myrrh? What was that? Atlantis is coming through. You have strong connections and ancestors there. And definitely myrrh beings are a part of your lineage. You also have astral. I'm receiving like aliens too. You actually have ancestors from every realm, but what Spirit is saying right now, you're being called to really focus on those mer beings that are your ancestors and the astral plane, really connecting to those energies. I'm hearing at night, the astral plane energies, and midday lunchtime is really a great time to connect to the mer ancestors. I'm feeling an emptiness. Like I felt something and I didn't know what it was. And they literally said, I'm feeling an emptiness. So what is that? I'm feeling an emptiness. What is that? It doesn't feel bad, right? It doesn't feel like anything to be worried about. Clean slate is what they're saying. You're at a point where the emptiness is being felt. It's more like future energy. And what I'm seeing, it's like you are turning on a faucet and you're like unplugging and you're literally just allowing everything that doesn't serve you to drain. And I heard show you. So the things that don't serve you are not able to show you the way. It's not able to show you your divine self. So it's almost like I'm hearing you're at a crossroads and you're at a point on your journey where it's time to release those things that once served you that don't know more. And what they're saying is the reason why they're saying this to you is because these are things that you haven't become aware of. Like, it's not the obvious things that you know don't serve you that you're being called to release. It's like things that it's small, but it's like tools you may have used or energies you may have connected to, or just things that once were really powerful and serving you where you were. But it's like when we get new clothes or new shoes, you know, or new pajama, we get rid of the old stuff, right? So because you're up leveling and you're upgrading, Spirit is saying like these are simple things, right? There's simple things that don't serve you. It's not anything that's harming you except for the fact that they're taking up space and they're holding space, preventing those things that are now here to serve you in the next level from doing that. So really have time with your inner child and then connect with your mer and your cosmic ancestors, and then allow yourself to be guided on those things that are hidden because they're not huge that you're being called to release. From which one? Okay. So I'm being told to pull first. I can do this one first. Okay. I'm being told to pull a card for you from the surrender. So this is for Alice. What would you like Alice to surrender, Spirit? What serves Alice's highest good? So feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. Now, we didn't even touch that. Spirit said it's self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. Explanatory or explanatory? I'm hearing explanatory, but I don't even remember. Is that how y'all say it for real? For real? I'm going to say it how Spirit said, but is that even the way? And then you have, take this one, both. And then you have voyage. You already have all the answers. Okay, so you have surrender to receiving support and love. And it says, allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So now, as I was reading that, what Spirit is saying, there's a difference between receiving nurturing and love from others as opposed to not seeking anyone's approval, right? And what I'm receiving as I'm reading that is that sometimes we get those wires crossed. So you may be in this space because I'm not feeling like you're going out seeking the approval of anyone else. It's more feeling like an energy of you don't seek anyone's approval, not consciously, right? You're not looking for the approval of anyone else, but it's feeling like you disconnect from more people than you connect to. And I know you and I have connected on many levels, right? That exchange of serving. However, that's rare for you, is what I'm receiving, right? It's rare for you to, you're always open to serve, but it's rare for you to trust anyone. But this is that being spirit guided and spirit led, right? You know what I mean? And I know what they're saying about that. You know, not everyone can serve someone who serves someone, because not everyone is going to be on your level or above, right? Like, I get that. I get that. But what spirit is saying is, sometimes that wall, that's what I said, sometimes that wall, it becomes something that pours over into you receiving that love and support. I'm hearing from the world, right? It's like it's deeper than just the topic we're discussing. And as I'm saying that, I felt a flutter in my chest, and then my chest became a little bit heavy, but not like extremely, but I could just tell there's something there, right? So spirit is saying for you to practice being open, to receive love. And what I'm being told is that love is not going to necessarily come in the form of people that you're dealing with on a close level. It's more like spirit is going to start to sprinkle in random people, because now you're being tested in two ways. Are you going to let them in? Are you going to allow them to serve you? And are you going to trust them because you don't know them? It's easy to start trusting. Sometimes it's easy to start trusting people you know. But if it's a total just bam, spirit's putting them in your midst, you know, then that's a little tougher, is what I'm being told. So you're going to start to notice you're being tested in that way if you haven't already. And then this one was in reverse. It says surrender to setting limits. So what that means, it being in reverse, spirit is saying to stop setting limits, stop setting limitations on yourself. By you setting those limitations, it's like buying a lemon, the car, right? So you are sometimes hindering yourself because you have these ideas and these beliefs that are showing up, setting limitations. I'm hearing the word involuntarily, but what spirit is saying is that's coming through because you aren't really consciously, I'm hearing the word aware, but what they're saying is you're always aware, right? Unconsciously, but consciously aware that that's what you're doing, right? It's almost like certain things have become habit for you. And now that you've elevated so much, there are certain things, again, cleaning out that junk that's so small, you don't recognize it, right? Sometimes things become habit. It's just habit. It's not necessarily rooted in trauma. It's not rooted in this. Sometimes it is, but not all the time, right? So this is where the cleaning up the residue comes from. And it says, it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships, practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. So what I'm being told is that, yes, that is true. That is true. But spirit is saying you really don't have an issue saying no to those outside of your circle. It's more or less like when a person shows up to be served, you're going to serve no matter how you're feeling. It's almost like, and then I'm saying how it's coming through. They need me right now. You know, they need me. They're stuck. They're feeling this. They're feeling that. And again, I can relate. I remember I was on call when I say 24/7. If it was 5 a.m. and somebody messaged me, guess who was answering at 5:01? Me. Right. And then spirit was like, get off there was a long time where I didn't even use my DM was gone because I wasn't strong enough at the time to just set those boundaries. So spirit said, well, then get off. You ain't gonna have messenger. And then when I was ready, spirit said, okay, log back on. Now I was able to set those healthy boundaries without having, it taken away. Right. And that's kind of how it's coming through, is that you are serving, but sometimes the boundaries are not there. And I'm hearing sometimes, because sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And I'm hearing sometimes I feel like a nut, but sometimes I don't. But what spirit is saying, those healthy boundaries are being called to be there and in place at all times, because by you not having a solid set of boundaries, you're actually slowing down your own personal growth and progress. And that's coming through by way of elevating to your next level, your big major next level, and then also your abundance, right? Also your ability to serve in the capacity you're here to serve in, which was coming through about my personal situation, right? We do it from love and we don't have a problem doing it, but then spirit is like, but you've been called to serve the world on a really large scale. And if there's not balance or an exchange of energy, well, then you're going to be burnt out over here. And then you're not going to be able to serve in your capacity, right? And that's how it's coming through for you. We're not all going to serve on the same capacity. But when we've been called and we've agreed and we've been told and we've been guided, well, then spirit's going to tell us when the way you're doing it isn't working. And that's what you're receiving. It's like you're doing it in a way that's hindering you. So it's just time to clean it up. Okay, that's what I'm receiving for you. And then one card from here. Let's see. Okay, a lot that I will, let's see. Okay, awesome. So Maria, you'll be next, and then Alatha, and then Alice, I see you've been leaving messages, so I'll read those. You have, it's in reverse. And look, I see what it says and what we were just talking about. It's raise or promotion, and it's in reverse. It says, congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is the result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So the reason why it's in reverse is exactly what we were just talking about. You know, you have that willingness to take guidance from spirit, but here's the but. Again, same that I had. I could be guided all day long, but when it came to serving, I was a little punk. It was like I was so attached. This is why I being that detached witness. I'm still invested in those I serve, right? But Spirit's been teaching us all, be the detached witness. So a detached witness isn't always just you give it and you let go. You give it and you allow them to choose, right? You give it and then you just, it's not your journey to decide. You just give the message, right? But it's also being a detached witness is being able to have boundaries, right? Because we can borderline enablers, right? When I think of my journey, I invested a lot, right? So if I could do it, and I know my finances weren't even funny. You know, people say my finding money funny. Oh, it was not even funny, right? I was so poor, I couldn't afford the OR, but I made it happen because it was important, and I was tired of living the way I was living, right? So if I'm willing to do that, if I can do it, anybody can, right? But when I go around making excuses for people, well, I'm enabling them. Kind of like what Spirit talked about with that video, right? Nope, we're not breaking into small sections. If they'd really like to get this message, get this work, they're going to sit through and they're going to be patient, right? You know what I mean? Which a lot of us may struggle with because of the fact we're so used to being in that higher realm before we enter, things are like this. And so now when we get into this human realm, it's like, oh, this is so slow, right? So that's what's coming through for you, is that when you don't have those healthy boundaries, oftentimes you're doing the opposite of why you're showing up that way, which is to serve, which is to help, right? So this is affecting your finances. It's affecting your finances. When you set those healthy boundaries, you'll be able to elevate financially. And it's also affecting your finances because you're not in balance. So that is the message I'm receiving for you, my beautiful sister. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And now I'm going to look to see what you were saying. Let's see. All right, let's see. Alice said, that's my birthday. Which day? Which day? And you said full moon ceremony. Yes, confirmation. Yes, got you. Absolutely. Many small ones. Yes, you are right. Nine in it. Okay, yes, correct. Bingo. Thank you for being the mouthpiece of spirit. You're so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for well, let's see. This is exactly why I wanted the mini read. Have to run, sending highest light and love. Mishana, I know you're already gone, but I'm energetically sending you the same. Alice said, channel it through. Yes. Oh, you on point. Me too. Okay, that was Maria. I almost cried in Whole Foods during Christmas Eve. You got to tell me about it. Tell me about it. Alatha said, I like a general. Okay, awesome. Alice said, yes, that's right. Alice said, yep, right. Thank you. You hit on all the areas. Oh, January 28th. Okay, so it's coming up. My youngest sister's on the 22nd and my mom's on the 23rd. So 28th. So your birthday is literally a month before mine. 1 month. Exactly. That's awesome. That'll be easy to remember. Because I'm gonna save it in my calendar too, but that'd be easier to remember. Alatha said, I was just told to ask you to shuffle and pull cards for me. That's so awesome. I will do it for sure. So yes, that is the message that came through for you. And I'm excited to see all the shifts that occur as a result of you making these little changes, and it's just all of us light workers. I believe in some way when we start, and you know what it is. It's because back in the day when we did this kind of work, we lived in more of a community environment, which is also another, we hear it takes a village, right? It's not just with kids. That message has come up with our healing journey. It takes a village, which is why Spirit stresses the fact that we connect to a community of like-minded, like-spirited, right? Like action individuals, because it takes a village. But also, the reason why oftentimes we will give, and we may struggle with the receptivity is because back in the day, we were just like, our homes were provided, our clothes, our food, and all we did was serve, and we got exchange. That was the even exchange, right? That was the even exchange. So now we're here, and now the currency that's exchanged most of the time is money, and it feels foreign to us until Spirit starts to say, hey, this is the way of the world now, right? It's the way of the world. And this is what you do for a living. I often was told by Spirit, so it became my go-to. It's like when people expect you to do things. If I went to your job and you had a clothing boutique and I just walked in and was like, oh, I know you girls, so won't you go ahead and let me get that outfit up off you? They're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. But yet when it comes to this kind of work, a lot of times people don't see it the same way. And Spirit is saying this is why we must see it the same way. So like those that I serve that have access to me, I've had people who are like, it was late. I'm like, listen, I don't care what time it is. When it hits you, you reach out. My phone is on silent most of the time. And when I'm in bed, it's in a whole different room. It's in the bathroom. So it's not your job to set boundaries for me, although I appreciate you for being willing, but that's my job, right? So Spirit is just saying that we're not alone in this behavior, and there's a reason why we feel this way. And so Spirit will just sharpen us up, clean us off, get us ready to live in this existence, right? And there's nothing wrong with that exchange of currency, right? It's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, yeah. Okay, so I am disconnecting from Alice's energy, and I believe Maria is second. If that me too was if the me too, if that's what that was. So let me look. Let me look. My dad sent me a picture. I told you guys we always send pictures of what we're eating. Oops. Let's see. Let's see. Who was next? Mm-mm. Okay. So Alice, I see your payment. So Maria, did you send a payment? And if so, where did you send it? I don't have a notification. Or were you even saying me too about the reading? Let's see. I see a PayPal. Okay. So a lot of the mini readings are 25, and then also when you guys send your amount for the readings on PayPal, if you select friends and family, that would be better, because on PayPal they charge a fee. That's why I always recommend you guys using Cashapp. And because it's such a small amount for the mini readings, I like to either use Cashapp where there's no fee, or have it where you guys select friends and family so that there's no fee. So yeah, so they're 25, and then yeah, if you can select friends and family. When I came back after the accident, the readings were 25 at that point, as opposed to 20. They used to be 20, but they're now 25. So just so that everybody is aware. And you're doing a general, right, Alatha? So I'm going to connect to Alatha's energy now. Okay, so Spirit, what message do you have for Alatha? Okay. So as I was doing that, it felt like so good. And then so that noise I was making, oh, it felt so good. So I was doing that, right? One of the things that Spirit is telling me to tell you is it's time for you to clean out your headspace, right? And it's also time for you to give voice and sound. I'm hearing to your issues, right? To voice and sound to your issues. So that just like like it feels so good. Like just do it. Do it for a second and just tell me how that feels to you. Like just uh, as you're exhaling, just allow it to release. Like it feels so good. I could keep doing this all day, but I'm not going to take up your reading time doing that because you get the picture now. I'm just taking advantage of how good it feels. But also, you can do that. You can do things like chant peace, but just notice, I don't know if you could see it, but as I was doing I was just letting my arms fall. And I just feel like my whole body is just releasing tension, releasing tension. So doing this too, like when you just take the smoke and you rub it over your head, just really allowing yourself to release. And even as I'm doing this, like I just feel energy falling off and just, and now I'm being told this. So what I'm being told to tell you is to do a clean sweep over your energetic body, over your auric field, right? I'm also being told to tell you to get deeper in your cleansing, right? But what Spirit is saying that, we have our spiritual cleansing, the blueprint that was shared and how Spirit used to say, but then you come up with your own, you keep the bases and then you allow yourself to be guided. You come up with your own that works for you. So what is coming through for you is the emphasis on your energetic field, right? And I'm feeling like electromagnetic currencies, right? Like you're very electrically charged. So as you continue to up level, you may be noticing it now, but for sure you will. You may notice that when you get in a situation where you're around electronics, they may glitch and they may have issues. Here's something I like you to do. That was happening the other day. And I was like, Spirit, if it serves my highest good, let it work. And then it did. And then another time it happened, I was like, Spirit, and I closed my eyes and before I could say it, it worked, right? So start practicing that too, because what Spirit is, and then I just felt the ringing. We're going to find out if that's something that we're being called to talk about. But what Spirit is telling you is to start to exercise these new gifts that are coming in for you. And it's coming through like that energy, right? That energy, that electromagnetic energy, right? I'm hearing lightning and I'm feeling like the energy of storm, right? Like I'm literally seeing storm and that energy of storm and just how you have a gift of being able to control things through the electromagnetic currencies within yourself, right? So also what Spirit is saying is because you are aware that these currencies are very strong, it's one of those things where sometimes it can feel like it's too strong. So you're being called to begin practicing controlling it. It's like those movies we see where people learn how to control their gifts and before they do it and then everything blows up. It's being exaggerated. We think like superhero stories are an exaggeration because we've been taught to feel like they're unrealistic, but in reality, they're very much so real. They're just presented in a way that feels like they're not. So that's coming through for you off top. And I'm being told to pull for you. This is for Alatha Spirit. What would you like to tell Alatha about surrender? Which one? Keep going or pick one. That one and that one. Oh, wow. It's so crazy. Like the whole day, it's been like one of these surrender cards up and one in reverse. Anymore? That one too. Okay. And then we're going to pull from this one. You guys, I have really been on a new deck kick. And as we're talking about cleaning out, I'm going to go and look through my decks and see which ones I'm going to give away. Because I have a ton of decks, you guys, and that both. And there's times where, you kind of go away from them and then you go back. I don't know. I'm sure those of you that work with the cards, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like you will have a time, like Spirit will always guide me on which ones to use. And then you use them for a while and then you just kind of put them away. But I feel like there's some that I just don't use. Like I haven't been guided to use them. So I'm going to check with Spirit and then see. I don't usually I don't buy used decks, because I feel like even though you cleanse them, but like if it's someone that I know and Spirit says it's okay to take them, I will accept them. I will, So yeah, I'm going to take a peek. So Alatha, you have surrender stress. It says, take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. And I didn't get that thought out. I was saying that because I'm checking in as I'm speaking about whether or not we're going to go through, select some decks and then do giveaways. So surrender stress. You take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So that's reminding me of what was coming through for you a lot, though, with that and just releasing that tension, right? So what Spirit is saying, this is a way to combat stress. What is she stressing about? What kind of stress is she experiencing? And I'm hearing the word disarray. Like it feels like everything's in a disarray, but then yet at the same time, it feels like everything is organized. It's almost one of those things like that energy that was coming through before, where it feels like, when I tuned out, I could really feel that positive energy that we all had access to. But on the surface, I was so connected to the world. So I felt all that chaos, right? That's how it's coming through. Like the disarray is more attracting other people's energy, other people's situations. And that's what you feel more often in the forefront. But that's not even really yours, most of it. It's just like things are bothering you a little bit more than usual because of the connection with everybody else's energy. But what I'm being told is, but underneath that, your own energy is very peaceful, is very relaxed, is very equipped, it's very knowing, it's very capable, it's very divine, right? And so Spirit is saying it's time for you to disconnect. Again, you also are someone that is a giver who sometimes gives to the detriment of yourself. But the thing is, you don't even recognize it, right? You don't feel it. Like sometimes you're like, oh, they trying to take advantage of me. And that's when you notice it, but you're not giving, right? During that time, when you notice it, you're setting boundaries. But the reason why they're doing that is because of all those times when you don't notice and you're showing up like, use me, right? And you're doing it in the sake of love. And these energy vampires, I'm being told the ones that are around you, they're energy vampires, it's not even intentional, right? It's not intentional. It's not like they're like, ooh, I'm doing this on purpose, right? It's not. It's more unconscious, right? But they're still doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna say what I just heard, and then we're gonna get what it means. Because as I was sitting there, Spirit like, just say it because it means something totally different. So first, I got man up, G's up, hose down. Okay, so with the man up, what Spirit is saying is it's not love. Because at first, you kept getting messages about love. So I'm like, is it that? Spirit like, no, it's not that. Man up, meaning step up, step up, step up to the plate, right? Man up. Do this. You're ready. It's time. Man up. Man up. It's time. It's time. It's time. Stop running. Stop fighting. Stop delaying. Do it. Do it. Do it. That's coming through with the man up. G's up, hoes down. Okay. G's up is, how sometimes a lot of people say, I'm one of them spiritual gangster, right? So Spirit is saying that's the G in you, right? That's the G in you dealing with your energy. That's the G in you. But hoes down has to do with gardening tools. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to get in that earth. And I'm literally seeing you with a hole, like digging dirt. I'm seeing you with your hands in the earth. I'm seeing you with your feet in the earth. I'm seeing you even laying your forehead to the earth, right? Really grounding, sitting on the dirt in the earth, no blanket underneath you, just butt on the earth. Of course you have on clothes, the least amount the better. But Spirit is saying it's time for you to really connect with the earth. Just let it pour over your hands, between your toes. It's really powerful for you. And what I'm seeing with that dirt, it's like really clean soil, right? It's clean soil, not the dirt that's like mixed in with weeds. Like I'm literally seeing like clean black soil for you, right? Just that dirt where you're just like, it feels so good. Like that's what I'm seeing for you. Now you also have surrender your soul path. Surrender to your soul path. This was that message coming through. Man up, man up. It's time to do it. And this is in reverse, which tells me I turned it right side up because we're not claiming that reverse for you. We've turned it right side up because we're getting in this energy. This is what was coming through. It's time for you to claim your soul path and get on it. And I personally know that you've gotten this message a lot, right? A lot. The corny. It says your life journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment, right? Embrace every lesson, every moment. So what Spirit is saying is this is just another message of it's time. And right now, Spirit's not even talking about your book. Like that vaguely came through, but Spirit's not even talking about that. Let me tell you what came through with that one. It was you coaching. It was you teaching. It was you really being all in. Because when I felt it, Spirit was like the same thing you had been running from, as you were saying you wasn't feeling, but then you said you're going to do it. Like that's what Spirit is telling you. That's what Spirit is saying. Man up, man up, man up. You're so agreed to this. And oftentimes, right? Oftentimes when we have the most resistance, this is exactly where we're being called to go. We know Spirit is always testing us. We know Spirit don't make it easy because Spirit's like, you really got to be a spiritual gangster. You really got to be a G about this to really do this work. A lot of people think it's all rainbows, unicorn farts. You know, we done said this, but it's not. It's not. It's not for the faint of heart. It's very rewarding. It's such a blessing. And when you do the things that Spirit guides you to do, what makes it feel like it's all rainbows is unicorn farts because of that unwavering faith, because of that protection, because of that strong conviction that you have to do it no matter what. But it's that process of getting there. And that's what Spirit is saying. Start going deeper into that process. Stay connected, get to work, and don't let go. Don't let up, right? That's what's coming through. Now, this one was in reverse also, and it says, surrender your attachment to results. It says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. This message came through today. I really don't remember if it was during Empower Hour, if it was one of the messages that I delivered in them people's inboxes, but let me just tell you, it came up today. If it was today during Empower Hour, y'all don't judge me. I told you I ain't slept in 4 days. But it's in reverse. But what's coming through for you with that is your surrender to the outcome, the attachment to the result. It's a bit different. You know how sometimes our attachment to the outcome is, this is what I like it to be, or this is what I want it to be, or this is what I need it to be, right? It's not that. It's more like what's the worst thing that can happen, right? It's more coming through like that. Like really focusing on what's the worst thing that can happen? What if I'm not able to do this? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't accomplish it? What if I don't achieve it? What if I don't make a difference, right? So Spirit is just saying, let go of all that stinking thinking and those what ifs and just be guided. That's it. Surrender to being guided. Surrender to being guided and then do it. Because you get guidance every day. You are so connected. You are so connected. I remember I used to think you were pretending. And I know there were times you did used to hold back, but I used to really think you were always pulling my leg and always pretending. And then the more I got to know you, I realized that what I was seeing and feeling was your soul. I was seeing and feeling your abilities and your gifts. So to me, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, nah, she playing. She playing. She's trying to trick me. She's trying to test me. And I know at times you were testing me. You always were testing me. But I used to think you were testing me and trying to trick me a lot more than you were, right? And so the reason is because you know you're gifted, right? But you haven't even tapped into just how gifted you are. Like, you know you're gifted. We know that, but you still have not tapped into just how gifted you are. It's like, whoa. Like, whoa. And then I hear Maya singing. It's like, whoa. So Spirit is saying that, oh man, Alatha, you just are being called to surrender. No wonder you got 3 surrender cards, but you're just being called to surrender. You're being called to surrender. The work that you're here to do, it is so great. And I'm going to say, I haven't processed why you're resisting, and they're not telling me why. They're not telling me, but you are resisting. I mean, okay, now it comes through as the obvious reasons, you know, like the fear from things you've experienced in the past and past lives, right? But that's it. That's the obvious, but they're saying it's more, but that's left up to you to explore. It's up to you to explore that. And you're ready. So look what you got, Witch. Justice is coming. Okay, Alatha, you and I both know what this is talking about. We know it. Justice is coming. This is why, look at that. She's cleaning out that closet. Okay, that's not a broom. Now that I'm looking, but Spirit says she's cleaning out that closet. I thought that was a broom and a mop, but look, it's a sword and a bat. You getting ready to go to battle. Or is it a cross? No, it's a sword and a bat. You getting ready to go to battle, and you cleaning out your closet. It's time for you to look at those outdated things, those outdated beliefs, right? It's time to go to war. It's time to roar. What was that? Roar. A lion, a tiger, a bear. Oh my, king of the jungle, being able to fight. Vicious, ferocious. Nothing can stop you but you. Right? It's time to prepare, right? It's time to prepare. Witch, justice is coming. So that witch speaks of all the power, the energy that you possess, your ability to be able to tap into your magic, right? And it is of highest light and love. Just embrace that part of yourself. Just embrace it fully. and get ready to go to war. Get ready to go to war. Get ready to go to war. Justice is coming. Justice is coming, but it starts with you surrendering to those things, and it starts with you committing. And what Spirit is saying, the things you're being guided to do, this is practice. Like you're being tested. Like, okay, if I tell you this serves your highest good to do, and then you lag on it, you slack on it, well, then you're not in the habit of fully being guided. So when you're up against this battle, right? When you're up against this battle and you're being guided, then what's going to happen is the same fears, the same egos that come in to play and take over, and just these simple things, right? Because Spirit is minimizing it. It's just simple, serving your purpose, answering your calling, simple, right? Well, then when you get to this war and you're being guided, the same thing's going to come up. So it's important for you to get out of that space and get into, you know what, I surrender. Just guide me. Wherever you tell me to do, I'm doing it. Whatever. Because you're gifted. You know what serves you. Even when you're not doing it, you know it serves you. Even when you choose not to do it, you know when it serves you. You're beyond the idea of, I don't know. Because you know. You always know. So now Spirit is saying get in touch with why, even when you know, you stall or you pause or you don't do or you wait, right? You procrastinate. So you have 9 and 8, which means going backwards, right? You have 9. This card is 9. And then this one is 8. So sometimes you got to backtrack, right? Maybe you missed some things. Maybe you missed some pebbles and some jewels and some seeds along the way. And now Spirit's like, it's time to backtrack so you can receive what you missed, right? Because there's something valuable that you missed that you are meant to take on your journey. And I'm literally seeing seeds like Jack and the Beanstalk. But in that bag of seeds, there's also jewels. I'm seeing rubies. I'm seeing diamonds. I'm seeing emeralds. I'm even seeing rose quartz. Rubies, diamonds, emeralds, rose quartz. Rose quartz. Is there? That's like a carpet cleaning company. Coit. I don't know if it means anything, but anyways, look up those jewels: rubies, diamonds, emeralds, rose quartz. And the Spirit guides you to get any of them. Do it. The Herkimer diamonds would be fine if you're guided to get diamonds, or if you want to treat yourself to some real diamonds, girl, by all means, go ahead. But you have feather. Think first before you judge. Okay. So what I'm receiving with this is the think first before you judge. What I'm being told is the thinking first before you judge. It's related to the guidance you receive from Spirit and thinking. Remember when we would get the strategy card and Spirit would always say the strategy card is not like strategizing the way we've been taught to strategize. It's co-creating with Spirit. So with this message, what I'm receiving is your think first, is you being guided by Spirit, connecting to Spirit before you judge, but it's coming through as you judging the message, judging the outcome, right? So when Spirit guides you, before your thinking is connecting with Spirit. Okay, Spirit, you just told me to do this. It goes back to that questioning, gaining clarity, right? We taught don't question God. But sometimes when you allow yourself to question God, because we know that's not true, it's okay to question God. So get that clarity. Sometimes in order to get to the point of having that unwavering faith and moving regardless, it takes us questioning. It takes us having that understanding. So now we see the value in why we're being told to do this. And once we see the value in it, now we can be on board. And that's really what's coming through with this. And then I'm hearing soft as a feather, stiff as a board, right? So being soft as a feather, meaning being flexible when Spirit is guiding you, and stiff as a board, meaning once Spirit guides you, unless Spirit guides you into something else, nothing is going to remove you from that. I'm hearing that awakening, that awareness, and that state of being soft as a feather, flexible in the guidance you receive. When Spirit tells you, you're flexible, right? Whatever you thought was happening, whatever you thought you was going to do, I'm now flexible because Spirit told me to do something else. Once I get that, I'm stiff as a board. I shall not be moved unless Spirit moves me, right? That's how that's coming through. Anything else? Nope. That's the message I'm getting for you, Alata. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And I'm going to look to see what you've been saying. Let's see. I'm going to look to see what you've been saying. So let's see. Alice says, scan the energy within your area. Pay attention to gray. So have I. New deck. I do it all the time. Alice said, I do it all the time. Alice, that exercise. Alice said, I keep mine. Alata said, I've been reading books by Queen of Fu, a Sacred Woman, Queen of Fool, Sacred Woman, and it led me to start doing homemade enemas to clean my womb. I be seeing, I be seeing, reading, and hearing about cleansing lately. Good, good. So when I did my cleanse, I did the master cleanse, where you do the salt water solution, and it's like the properties is like the same as your blood, so it's not going to affect your blood pressure, make it higher or whatever. It doesn't do that. And then you drink the lemonade solution with fresh lemons, and you don't pre-make it. I see a lot of people on YouTube pre-making it, but you drink it down because those lemons have enzymes. That's good for the nutritious part of this journey. And if you pre-make it, those enzymes, they die, right? Or if you use lemon juice that's bottled or those squeezes, you get fresh lemons. And you do that. That's all you drink. You put cayenne pepper in it, maple syrup, and the lemon, right? Half a lemon is usually 2 tablespoons. You do 4 cups, I believe it's 4 cups of water. And then you do 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and cayenne pepper, as much as you can stand. And yeah, after a while, it gets really, really, really nasty, the salt and the lemonade. But you just do what Spirit tells you. When Spirit told me to do it, I was like, oh, I would love to eat. And then Spirit said, this is a sacrifice for what you said you're choosing for your next level. Once Spirit said that, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm doing it. I ain't eating. So yeah, the cleansing is really good. I don't know why I was led to share that with you, but when you say you've been hearing about cleansing lately, Spirit says share it. Alice says, Spirit giving a lesson on Ebonics. I know, right? A lot to say. G's up, hoes down. I'm a pimp. Hey, listen. I'm going to tell you, when I was younger and I was in 6th grade when I read Iceberg Slim and Donald Goines. And I used to be like, that's going to be me. Like, I never thought I would ever be a hoe, but I was sure on board with being a pimp. Michaela said, yes, Alatha, you are gifts. You are so gifted. You're not lying, Miss Tequila. I can feel it. Yes. And that, you notice how I just was like, I just had to pause for a minute because it's a feeling. You can't really put it in words. But yeah, I used to all the time, you guys, because Alatha used to be in RIM. And that's something else. You've been called to join again. And we didn't have to talk and you've been putting it off, but hey, when you get it, you will. But anyways, I used to really think Alatha was pulling my chain. And again, a lot of times she was testing me. She was testing me, which is totally fine. But I used to always think she was testing me more than what she was. And so, because I felt her power, her energy, her gifts so strong that I couldn't believe that she wasn't playing games, So yeah, it's definitely felt. Alatha said, you are so corny for sure. I know. Now I said, oh, cool, you're still on. Yes, we're in the mini reads part, but I always say stay on because there's always something for all of us. So welcome back. Michaela said, do you remember yourself from another planet, Alatha, or no? I'm just wondering. Alatha said, Michaela, not another planet, but different lifetime for sure. Why? What are you getting from me? Michaela said, I just felt like I had to ask. You're not alone, though. Alatha said, I know how gifted I am. I had this conversation with you before. It's the experiences I've had with it, and it's draining. Yes, I do remember that. But what Spirit is saying, even in addition to how gifted you are, you're even more gifted, is what I was receiving. Like, I know, but Spirit said, you have no idea. It's even more powerful, more deeper than what you do know. Like, that's how powerful it is. It's even more deeper than the things you know, right? And that too, what you said about the experiences is partially why, right? It's partially why I understand that's partially why you haven't fully let it come in, but this is also partially why you have no idea. Like, what you think it's like Spirit's like, nope, it's deeper. It's even deeper. Whatever you think right now, it's even not whatever right now, because the think is coming through because it's deeper. Whatever right now, it's even deeper. And I'm just like, woo, hurry up and reveal it. Tell me about it. Share these experiences. I'm excited. It's like, it's deeper. It's deeper. Let's see. Alatha said, justice is coming. When? I have something in mind, but do you have an idea of what? Well, I'm receiving, when I got that card, it was definitely the whole justice situation around what you're writing your book about, right? And I'm receiving, it's coming in multiple ways, right? Multiple ways. It's connected to your calling as well, but justice is coming. Justice is coming. People will get paid back. People will learn. People will grow. People will elevate. People will release. People will surrender. People will be punished accordingly. And money. And money. So let's see. Alava said, Michaela, okay, thank you. Hi, Vanessa, welcome. I would love a general message. Just sent Cashapp. Thank you. You're so welcome. Alava said, thank you. I swear my message seems so short. Maybe because I'm so into what you're saying. Because you know what? It actually felt long to me. I felt like it was long. So that could be it. That's me too. Whenever I'm getting readings, they're always short to me. Like I can get a reading 24 hours a day. I love them. And even though we can connect and do it ourselves, but I love getting readings. I do. I love it. So I'm grateful. It say time flies when you're having fun. A lot of say, yes, that exercise. Michaela said, LOL, Miss Nahkila. Nice. I sent my payment via Cash App. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to see who is first. Who sent it first will determine the order that you both went in. So let's see. You guys, you know what? I keep opening this and seeing my dad's picture. And I'm like, let me see what he made. It looks like he made some egg foo young and he made some noodles. Like some noodles with wait, let's see. It looks like there's some sprouts in there and some celery and I can't tell if that's lobster. There's some egg in there. Oh, that was him making the egg foo young. Okay, so listen, you guys know I'm vegan. My dad is not. So when we send each other food, I always imagine that what he's sending me is vegan so I can really enjoy the So I just pretend like it's vegan and then it looks super good. I mean, it looked good anyway, but I'm like, that's vegan. Yay. See, I'd be like, send me pictures, Dad. Let me know what you're cooking. So yeah. Okay. So Naya, you were first, and then Vanessa, you will be next. So, okay, thank you guys so much. So Naya, thank you, Spirit. So I got pants on today, y'all. I'm gonna stand up. I don't even have to stand up. I'm gonna stand up just because I have pants on today, and just because I can. I've mastered the art of not standing on camera because I never have pants on. Only reason why I have them on today is because I went somewhere today and I came right home and got on. Y'all know I'm the pantsless bandit. Okay. So now were both of you, Naya, you were doing a general? So let's see. I'm going to disconnect from Alatha's energy. And I'm going to connect to Naya's energy. Naya, did you say it was a general or did you have a question? This is actually this stick is really good. I have like 2 different types in my inventory and I like this one for this type of thing because this one, it burns a little just enough and then it goes out, which helps to save it. I don't have to wet it, So in this situation, then I have some that will burn until I put them out, which is good for when I'm smudging the house. You'd like to ask about your marriage. Okay, well, cancel what you need. You don't need guidance. It just serves your highest good. Okay. So first thing I heard was it's time to let it go. And then they knew I felt uncomfortable with that. So then they said it's time to walk on by. But that's why I just said, okay, I'm gonna say it because we ain't no punks up over here. It's just time. I'm receiving it served its course. There's still a few more lessons of healing for yourself. Now let me say this, okay? they're reminding you that every message you get, it is a warning if things continue the way they are. There is always free will, right? There is always free will. So when you get a message from spirit, this message can be the reality. If things continue like on both parts exactly how they are, and of course, the only part you can focus on is you, or they can be messages that will stir something within you where you are able to create shift because maybe that's not the outcome you're choosing, right? So I was told to say that. Now, with that being said, as the way it is right now, Spirit is saying, no, it's time to let it go. Now, the other thing I'm receiving as I'm getting that is, it's time for you to stop letting yourself be held back. So there's a combination of something what's happening right now, Naya. What Spirit is saying is you're holding yourself back and then you're allowing yourself to be held back, which actually makes sense because there's been so much like that mirror energy that Spirit has been saying, like people are reflecting us, and this has been stressed a lot lately. And so Spirit is saying that's what's happening right now. It's like you're holding yourself back, and it kind of came through like you're holding yourself back. You're afraid to shine. So here's the funny thing. I was on TikTok, right? When my video was uploading, your video came on, but I couldn't see your name because I don't know if everyone's does this, but while video is uploading, like the other video that you're seeing, it's like not on the full screen, but I knew it was your video. I knew it was your video. And I felt there was some significance there because you, and I'm gonna pull cards too, you have full potential to take your gifts to such a high elevated state. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom. You present like you're already branded and it's just so natural, right? Your energy feels amazing. And this video was not even your most often crystal video, right? It was a totally different video, but I knew it was you. I felt your energy, right? And so the significance of that is you have the full potential to fully elevate, grow, and expand, but you're holding yourself back. You have a lot of fear. Spirit has guided you to. Spirit has told you it's your time, and then you done sat around and lack, and you done sat around and not did it, and and you're making moves, right? You're making moves, but it's almost like I'm hearing the word preparation, like a feeling that I'm preparing, and Spirit is like, that's cute. That's cute. And we see you, but you're beyond this. Like you've been prepared. You were born prepared. It's time to go, right? It's time to get moving. It's time to do it. You have so much to offer the world, and you're only allowing a fragment of the world to see a fragment of you. So they're really stressing the fact that it is time for you. I'm hearing take those bulls by the horn and to allow yourself to shine. And also, what I'm being told is you've been putting a lot of focus and attention on these stressful areas of your life, which is taking your focus and attention, number one, off of you, and number two, off of the full capacity of your serving potential, right? Now, also what's coming through is the people around you that mirror your stress by giving you more stress, right? They are also pulling your energy down. So as you're in this realm of accepting the service that I'm hearing that you've been granted and that you chose to do, it's keeping you stuck in this cycle. They said in this stuck cycle, right? You're in this stuck cycle, and they're showing me like a wheel, right? But it's like so beautiful what you bring to the table. Like I love your videos. Every time I see them, I'm liking it. Every time I see it, I do. Yeah, it's just very much so elevated is the only word I can say. It's elevated, right? It's elevated. And you're another one to where now that I've seen you grow, that's the thing. Like I remember when I first met you, you have grown a lot. I'm seeing the growth, but I'm also seeing the stuck. What it feels like is I'm hearing serving you. That's what it feels like. You're serving you, which is great, right? We're always serving us. However, Spirit is saying it's almost like you're cloaked, right? It's almost like you're in this shell where you are intentionally hiding from the world. But you're not admitting that to yourself. But that's what you're doing. You are intentionally hiding from the world. And this is the cycle that Spirit is saying now is the time. Now is the time to stop. So simply, and I'm saying simply because Spirit is telling us to look at everything like it's simple, right? Don't put too much on it to where we scare ourselves, but just simply look at it like this. I'm cloaked. So now I'm choosing to uncloak. Of course, I'm still going to be cloaked and protected from everything that doesn't serve my highest good or doesn't have my intention. I'm sending that vibrational frequency that whatever is sent to me may return to sender or wherever it's meant to go for cleansing, right? If it doesn't serve your highest good. But now it's time to uncloak for those that you are called to serve, those that are seeking you, those that are waiting on you to uncloak so that they can find you so that you can help them find themselves. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like you're cloaked. It almost feels like if you were underground and you have like this diamond factory, like, right, harm-free pumping out, just like it's almost like you just underground and you just own this diamond factory where they just fall out of place. Don't nobody have to work, no child labor, no, blood, sweat, tears. It's just like, whoop, here's a diamond, here's a diamond. It's easy, right? And it's beautiful, it's amazing, but nobody can see it. And then it's like you're gathering all these diamonds, but you're just putting them in the corner. That's what it's feeling like, right? That's your energy. It's like just beautiful. It's amazing. It's abundant, right? It's powerful. It's just like it's gonna bring a smile. It's gonna bring a healing. Nobody even knows it exists, right? So let's see what the cards have. It's time. It's time. Uncloak yourself. Stop being afraid. A lot of your fear comes from past life experience. And then the people in your life right now, they are solidifying these fears because they don't see your worth. They don't see your worth. They are still used to the old you. Take all of these. Okay. They're still used to the old you, right? And they don't see what I feel. They don't see it. They only partially see it, but they don't realize how much you've grown. So they too are a part of why you hide. It's almost like that fear, that feeling that they won't be able to relate to you. At times it's conscious, most times it's unconscious, right? But even when it's unconscious, it still feels conscious because there's I'm hearing levels and layers to it, right? So and it's the unconscious part that has the grip, the tightest hold on you. So you have homework, and 4-2, which is 6, it says, take yourself out on a date. So when we're talking about relationships reflecting what we're doing to ourselves or to ourselves, right? Or for ourselves, Spirit says, start treating yourself the way you like to be treated by your significant other. Start dating yourself, start treating yourself, right? And don't do it with the intent that, oh, I'm going to show you how to treat me. Just simply do it because I deserve this, right? I deserve this. Start taking yourself out on a date regularly. Just treat yourself. And it doesn't always have to cost money. Look at her. She's standing there with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. It looked like a cup of lava cake. Oh, it's coffee when I turn around. But listen, I'm thinking cake. I'll take the cake. You can have the coffee. And then look at nature and animals, right? That can be a date in and of itself, right? Just do things that make your soul feel good. And then you have wings. Oh, we already know what this is about to say. It says you never needed those wings to fly. So here's the thing. Those wings that Spirit is saying you never needed those wings to fly. It's because all you have to do is set the intention and you're flying, right? But it's almost like you were waiting for your wings to grow. You were waiting for your wings to develop. And in that waiting process, you're preventing yourself from flying because you forgot that you created the wings, but you also know how to fly without the wings. You can just think of flying and you're flying. So Spirit is saying a lot of what's holding you back or keeping you stuck on the ground, keeping you from soaring and flying into your grandest, fullest potential is you. It's you. It's the way you're perceiving yourself, right? I'm being told to tell you, well, first of all, I'm being told to ask you, what is your biggest fear? And I'm being told to ask you to really get in touch with that. When you identify what it is, get in touch with it and start uncovering and unpacking where it comes from beyond this lifetime, because you're going to easily know from this lifetime. And as I'm saying, that Spirit's like, yeah, you're going to easily know, but there are some things that you don't know so easy from this lifetime too. But Spirit is saying, really look at your past lives, right? Where did this fear stem from? I'm hearing burned on the stake. I'm hearing drown. I'm hearing hung. I'm hearing beat. I'm hearing persecute. I'm hearing betrayed. I'm hearing so many things. You have experienced so much heartache and pain from those that you love for simply being you in all your lifetime. Simply being you. This is a soul contract you're being called to release. But look at this. If you really look at this era This ah oh, those are the wings. I got all excited. I'm like, that's what the freaking card said anyway. But look, the castle, right? That's a lifetime in and of itself. And she almost looks like a fairy wearing that skirt, you know? And then here reminds me of an older woman living in the woods, minding her business, very much so magical, but in a different way. This looks like a magical being. I get more witchy vibes from her, even though I'm seeing fairies and witches. You know, I'm pretty sure they had them. And then she looks like someone who be in the kitchen, like a kitchen witch, mixing up some elixirs, right? That's what she reminds me of. So in lifetimes, you've always been magical. Right? You've always been magical and people have hated you for that magic. So you hide it now. You have swore, make the change. Make the change. So look, she preparing for war. She cutting that hair so they can't grab it. And she like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being the little frail warrior that nobody sees as a warrior. But most important, look where she is. She's in the mirror. Spirit is saying it's not about how others see you. It's about how do you see yourself. Are you tired yet? Now, Spirit's not saying you got to go cutting your hair. Unless you've been thinking about it and feeling about it, then go do it. But this is not what it's saying if you haven't been thinking about it. But what this is symbolizing is she's just ready for war. And that war is the war within yourself, that battle that you've been having with self. Just choose. First, get in touch with where it stems from, and then choose to heal it, release it, and choose to just go to war, go to war, go to war. And then look at this. You have garden. Something lovely will grow from this. And another sword, right? Another sword. So now she's connecting to nature. She's connecting with spirit. She's connecting with her own magic, right? I'm being told to tell you to connect even deeper with your magic. And it is very important. 4, 5, 6, 6. So look, you have 2, 6, wait, 6, 6. You have 2 6s, 7, and an 8. 12. You have 18, which is 9. So look up the number 9. And if you feel like looking up any other combinations within here, go ahead. So it says something lovely will grow from this. Something lovely will grow from this. You've been planting seeds in your heart. Seeds in your heart. I like to call them breadcrumbs, right? We leave ourselves breadcrumbs from every lifetime. And now it's time for you to feast on those breadcrumbs, right? It's time for you to get all that wisdom, that knowledge that you've been leaving for yourself to find. And when you allow yourself to release these false senses of expectation, meaning I must have this, like how it talked about those wings, right? Spirit is saying the right moment is now. The best moment is now. The perfect moment is now. Just uncloak yourself. And while you are discovering the answers to those questions that came through, Spirit is saying still be in deeper action, deeper action. Now, I'm being told to tell you that you're not getting this message because Spirit is not proud of you. Spirit is very proud of you. But what Spirit is saying is it's important for you to get this message because now it's time to take it to the next level, right? This was your old next level, and Spirit is saying, now you ready. You ready for the next level. So Spirit is saying, that's why we're not focused on it. We are very proud of you, but now you're ready for the next level. It's time to take it there. Okay, so these, which one, the top 2? Okay, so you have raise or promotion. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So see, Spirit's letting you know, keep up the good work. We're not saying it's not good, but now it's just next level time. And this is going to increase your income, all that. It's going to make you just, man, listen, I like watching your videos. I really do. It says moonlighting. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you, right? Now, I don't know if you have another job. I'm not feeling that you do, but I don't know. But in a feeling sense, I don't feel like you do, right? But what Spirit is saying is, this, what you're doing, is going to fully support you and create that abundance that you're choosing, right? But it's just up to you to find these things that we had come up, to heal them, to release them, explore them, right? And accept the fact that this is what I'm here to do. And I'm meant to do it more than simply giving information. I'm here to do this for real, right? And for real means it's not a hobby, right? It is not a hobby. This is your calling. This is your calling. Again, like I said, you feel branded. You feel anytime I knew that was your video, I felt your energy. And that's what attracts people to you when they can feel your heart, they can feel your energy, right? And when it feels good and it resonates, not only do they know you, but they love you. It felt good. I knew that was you. It felt good. I'm like, and then when I saw it was you, I was like, I was celebrating, like, ooh, I was right, I was right. You know, it'd be us psychics, right? We know we psychic, but we still be acting like something else. I know I'm not the only one. So yeah, so that's the message I'm receiving for you. Again, with the marriage, it is definitely, if things continue the way they are, yes, it's time to go. But you can also decide, is it worth it? Is it shiftable? And if you are in the process of feeling like it can, Spirit is saying focus on you without focusing on what the other person is shifting, right? You will come to a point where you will move on. Even with that being said, that was like a disclaimer, but I'm receiving you will come to the point where you move on, mostly because when you fully get into the willingness of shifting and elevating yourself even more, like I talked about my god brother, why I stopped talking to him early on. I don't know if you were on at the time, because I had elevated vibrationally. Same reason why my second husband and I divorced. It was because once I went on my healing journey, he wasn't healing with me, and my vibration was so high, like we just couldn't exist in the same. We just couldn't. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling that you very much so have the willingness to continue to elevate. And it's almost like sometimes you just require reminders, right? Reminders. It's not so much like it's not there or you don't know. It's just little reminders. But with your spouse, it's more like there's a lack of willingness, right? And a big lack of willingness of really seeing you, and a lack of willingness in making that shift, right? It's just two different pages, and that's okay. That's okay. So this will pose as a major test for you. Major test, but Spirit said either way, you're going to pass. Whatever you choose, you'll be passing. It just is what it is. So, anything else? I was told. Nope. That is it. And for whatever reason, as I'm looking at this card, Spirit is telling me to grab it. So this came up for us as a collective. I can't tell stories. I thought maybe I could read it backwards. I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance, right? And it says continuing to tell those stories of shortage only continues to contradict your desires for abundance, and you cannot have it both ways. You cannot focus upon unwanted and receive wanted. You cannot focus upon stories about money that make you feel uncomfortable and allow it into your experience. What makes you feel comfortable? A different story will bring different results. My thoughts are the basis for the attraction of all things that I consider to be good, which includes enough money and health for my comfort and joy. So that message Spirit said to give to you. So that is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I'm going to look to see what you're saying. And yeah, let's see. Um a lot that said I started working with a lawyer last year and we should be wrapping it up, serve them in the next month or so. That's so awesome. So awesome. A lot that said, Naya, sending you love, strength, guidance, and all that you desire. Yes, I'm with you. I know sometimes when I'm delivering the message, I lack empathy because I'm zoned in, but I know that even if something serves your highest good, thank you, Alatha, for saying that. Even when something serves your highest good, we're still human, right? We could be so connected to our higher self, but we are still human and it doesn't always feel good, right? So I am definitely sending you the love and strength and power and peace as well. So, and you got this, you got this. It's all according to divine timing. And when you feel led by spirit, that's when you make those moves. Those are always things that I recommend. I'll give you the message and I always say, but you check in. I say that all the time, but especially when it's something as altering, life altering as this. It's important for you to receive it too. So that, and even when you ask, you already know. Like, that's the thing. When you ask, you already know. It's just you're seeking confirmation because this is a huge step, right? So you're just seeking that additional confirmation to what you already know. So, yeah. Um, Naya said, yes, he is never supportive of me and makes fun of me and ignores us. It hurts deeply. Yeah, he's just on a different page. I'm feeling like he may be that person that more claims Christianity, but he doesn't even really embody Christ consciousness, right? And with what you are doing, it's a level of fear which creates that in him, right? Because, you know, it's like a the fear of ooh magic, ooh witches, like that is what I'm receiving. Even if he doesn't say that, I don't know if he does or does not, but it's a feeling like that's where that is. And if I can make you doubt yourself and not believe in yourself, same way we were talking about society does, well, then you're not going to know your true power. It's really just rooted in fear and unwillingness to look at things from a different perspective, a higher perspective is what I'm receiving. A lot that said you stood up with pants on, but you're a boob in the camera. Thank you. I didn't even realize. I'm like, wait, is my panties showing? Let's see. Um, Naya said, you like them. What an honor. Yes, yes, I do. I do. Literally, I don't always comment, but I always like it. Always. Um, Naya said, you're right. That's what it feels like. Naya said, magic shroom tea. Oh. Oh, okay, I'm gonna finish reading Naya's comments and then I'm gonna tell you guys this that I'm gonna go to Vanessa's reading. So that's so funny. So Naya said that that I'll be homeless again and him saying I'm crazy and take my son. So I like you to cancel delete that thought, cancel delete that fear because what we think about, we bring about. What we fear, we bring about, which now makes sense why Spirit said read this card. It was literally from the collective, but it was staring at me and Spirit said there's a reason. So it says, I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance, right? It also says, continuing to tell stories of shortage only continues to contradict your desire for abundance, and you cannot have it both ways. You cannot focus upon unwanted and receive wanted. So you cannot focus on what does not serve your highest good and receive what does. You cannot focus upon stories about money that make you feel uncomfortable and allow into your experience what makes you feel comfortable. A different story will bring different results. My thoughts are the basis for that attraction of all things that I consider to be good, which includes enough money and breath or in health for my comfort and joy. So you guys see how the words get smaller down there than the rest. So that's why it becomes hard to read the bottom. So look, that's why that message was for you. Cancel, delete that, right? That's a normal human response. And that's a normal response based on fear from past experiences. But Spirit is telling you if you like to create different and experience different, change the way you think about the situation, right? And also, you have the power and the magic to protect yourself, which, again, in order for him to have the upper hand or be in power, he has to make you, we're going to say he has to make you feel powerless in his mind. But the reality of it is, no one can take away your power. You can only give it away. And that's what's happening with him. He's doing like society, right? He's convincing you that you're powerless and you're believing it, which is keeping you disconnected from your divine self, right? So now Spirit is saying it's time to change it, time to change it. I have another job, just what I do to make money. Yeah, I was feeling that there wasn't another job, which is great. That means you have time to build upon this. But the only thing that's keeping it hidden is the fact that you're cloaked, and that part of that cloaking is your own fear based on those past life experiences. This is why Spirit is saying it's like pronto ASAP, time to heal it, right? Time to heal it, time to release it, because of the fact that you're moving into that space of releasing this relationship. So I'm going to tell you, when I was divorcing my second husband, it was that thing I shared how I used to be in the sacred bath for 6 hours. And that's not an exaggeration, like literally to keep my energy up because it was so toxic that if I wasn't in that space, neutralizing my energy and pouring into my energy what I was choosing, I would have been feeling that pull down from his, right? So while you're in the midst and in this relationship, it's so important to be guided on ways to keep your energy up so that while you're still there, you can build You can build for yourself. So you have that sense of security. And this is where it's super important for you to be guided by spirit. Set your intention. What is it that you're choosing? What is it that you desire, right? And then allow spirit to guide you. Like I said, I wasn't making enough to take care of Samaj and I. And so spirit, guide me, show me. So if this is a thought that came up, right? Don't judge that thought that was rooted in fear. Explore it with curiosity. Sometimes those thoughts are warning signs like, okay, this is something that I'm holding on to, spirit. So what I'm choosing is for you to guide me into being out of that stinking thinking, out of that low vibrating thought, and guide me into the higher vibrating thought. One way, add that to your mirror work, right? What's the opposite of that? I am so happy, grateful, and excited that I am making enough money serving, doing what I love so that I am able to support my son and I. I am so happy and grateful that I am protected by spirit and that my son is with me because it serves his highest good and mine. And so it is. And you say that every day. You say that every day and you feel it, you believe it, you see you and your son living in your own place, happy, excited, thriving, right? And then you feel that frequency and you just allow yourself to sit in that for a while every day, right? When you wake up or when you go to bed, you could do your mirror work in the day. And then at night, when you're going to sleep, just allow yourself to fall asleep in that zone of, visualization, right? So, a lot that said, what type of videos do you make? Naya said on TikTok, just spiritual stuff. Naya said, thank you so very much. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And Naya, share your TikTok name. Alatha said, that's cool. Naya said, thank you, Alatha. Naya said, cancel that spirit. Right? Because notice you said just spiritual stuff. You just minimized the heck out of that. That did not sound at all like what I be loving, just spiritual stuff. Nah, man, she be having some crystals, amazing crystals. The music behind it be amazing. The way she holds it, and then she'll have information with it, telling you what the crystals are, what they do. Then she'll have videos that are giving more information with just pictures, but it's so professionally done. Like you just feel like your soul just got a zap of more information. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. So, but that just spiritual stuff. That sounds so minimal. Quit minimizing, girl. Quit minimizing. You better claim that throne. Shoot, everybody ain't able. Let's see. Naya said, oh, yes, I've been doing mirror work along with the moon and an awesome crystal pink petalite. Awesome. TikTok name is Spiritual Peak. So Naya's TikTok name is Spiritual Peak. SPIRTUALPEEK. Naya said, oh, well, I did minimize it. I claim that throne. Yes, claim it. I can't be hyping you up more than you. And there was a time where my soul clients hyped me up more than me because I was in lack. I was not feeling the capacity or the weight of what I bring to the table, right? And if people would ask me, well, what do you do? I'd be like, well, I can introduce you to one of my clients because they could probably tell you better than me. That's literally, it was lack, right? It was fear. It was not feeling worthy. It was not feeling equipped. All these things, right? We got to be our own biggest cheerleader, not them cheerleaders that be thinking we the shit, but we not. I mean, the ones that really are, because spirit guiding us, right? So we really are. And then we just act like we don't know because we done forgot. Spirit's like, no, you got to be your biggest cheerleader because you're on point. So yes, yes, yes. So that is your message, Naya. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And Vanessa, are you still on? We have 6 people on with 9 likes, y'all. So 6 of you are still with us. I thank you for being here with us. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. I'm so, so grateful because it's all true. It's all true. I'm not going to put 20 on a 10. If that ain't what I feel, I ain't saying it. I'm just going to say what Spirit tell me to say. I'm not going to hype you up. I believe in hyping you up if there's a reason. Okay. Let me say that I have no problem hyping folks up when there's a reason. But if I don't feel it, Spirit can tell me what Spirit tell me. I'm going to say what Spirit say, but I'm not going to be hyping you from my perspective if that's not true. It's like I was, I told you I was having a session with my son and my bonus daughter. And then she goes, I feel like you hate me and you want me and your son to break up. And I said, listen, if I felt that way, you would know. I said, Asim would know and you would know. Trust me, I do not bite my tongue. I do not feel that way. I love you. That's why I'm on the phone with y'all. It's almost 5 in the morning doing this with you because I care. I'm like, and then every time I talk to Asim, it's just me and him. I always ask him, "Are you happy?" And he always says yes. He never has nothing bad to say about you. I said he had a girlfriend. She was great to me, but she wasn't great for my son. He knew it too because I made it clear. So yeah. But what I was saying, when I was like, oh, okay, you guys. So you remember when we had that Empower Hour, and I was like, Spirit, I wonder what it would be like if I were to have weed right now on my journey, what kind of downloads I get. Because in the past, back in the day, when I would have weed, it was very sporadic 'cause I didn't like the way it felt. I would always get downloads, but it would just be a horrible experience. And so I'm like, I probably have more control now. And then Spirit said, do it. So you guys remember, you got to witness this fear because I was like, Spirit said, do it, y'all. So, anyways, we went to Slutty Vegan. Remember, we went to Atlanta. And my bonus dad asked about CBD. And I had just mentioned about, getting some edibles somewhere. So, anyways, weed is not legal, but they had this CBD that has THC in it. And the way they mixed it and mastered it, it was such a small amount, but it was more than average. And so, anyways, that was the start of the major download. And then the next day, Spirit was like, you thought it was just the weed, huh? You unlocked the chamber, but look, it's still here. Then the next day, it's still here. And then it's like, no, another day, it's still here. And then it was just like, no, you just unlocked a new chamber. So I did it. I stepped out on faith because I was really like, I wonder, but part of me was still like, oh no, oh no. In the past, I have never enjoyed it, right? And it was like the most amazing download, having that chamber unlocked, and the way it was happening. While it was happening, I almost felt like, man, if only this was being recorded. It was so amazing, so amazing. I haven't done it since. It was literally the tinctures, right? Literally the tinctures, but I haven't done it since because I'm still not that person that's like, you know it still gets really intense, but just intense with downloads now. It's not intense like I felt my organs or that kind, but it was just amazing. So I did it, y'all. I was scared, but I did it anyway, and it was amazing. Amazing. The downloads were amazing. Amazing. So, yes. Vanessa said, I'm here. Okay, awesome. Yes, my oldest son, Asim, he has two sisters, but growing up, his oldest sister, his dad had to find her later, right? And so I always called what some would call their stepchildren my bonus daughters or my bonus son. And with her being my son's girlfriend, and I know this is his forever person, I decided she's my bonus daughter. She's my bonus daughter. They're not married. She's not my daughter-in-law. And even when they do get married, she's still my bonus daughter. So, Michaela said, yes, Ms. Nahkila, I love smoking because I get to connect on a different level. And and see, that was my thing. I had ordered some CBD to help with pain that was like smoking, and I just didn't like the feeling of smoking anything. So I ended up giving it away, right? I was thinking, okay, this will help with pain because the tinctures here are so expensive. And so my ex ended up getting me a bottle from Washington State that's huge, but it's $90. And then here you get these little tiny bottles for like 63. So the bottle in Atlanta was 83, but I got it. And then I got my son a bottle without THC. So it was it's more expensive here, but I prefer that over smoking personally, right? Because I don't like the way it feels smoking. But same reason, like I was just like, I wonder what these downloads will be like now that I'm more aware in my gifts and just in a different place. And it was like, whoa. But I will not be doing that all the time at all. Just because, it's like one of those things when spirit guides me, I'll just do regular CBD in between time, because this is partially why I haven't been sleeping for 4 days because of this next level that was unlocked. Well, that's where it started, you guys. So yeah, and it has been going and going and going. So now it's like we getting some sleep tonight. So yes. But yes, sometimes go and do videos and share some of those downloads that you're getting, Michaela. So this is for Vanessa's spirit. What message you have for Vanessa? And I've disconnected from Naya's energy. I'm disconnecting from Naya's energy and connecting to Vanessa's energy. So that's it from that deck. Okay. Now, Vanessa, were you doing a general or do you have a question? Michaela said, I know what you're talking about. Yes. I said, I hope my magic shroom tea comes Friday. I got amazing visualization downloads. And said, okay, see, I'm not, Spirit ain't guiding me on that now. That just feel even more scary to me. But I'm looking forward to your downloads. I'm looking forward to yours. But no, I'm not ready. Mm-mm. I look forward to everybody else's downloads, but I'm not ready. But it was amazing, you guys. It was amazing. I have been saying I can read minds, right? I've been saying I can read minds, and my mom can tell you about that because, yeah, they were shocked. I was literally reading minds and accurate. It was just amazing. It was amazing. Wow, this is really funny. You got a lot of the cards that we already received in the collective read, and I'm gonna put that in because that was the one that was facing up. No specific question in mind. Actually, I have some upcoming travels and have been in a good spot with my career. So I'm open to whatever messages come through. Awesome. Take both. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. 7:58. I'm looking because I told you guys I do the intermediate fasting. So my time to not eat again ends at a certain time. I still have leftovers from when got vegan Mexican food. It says surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Now this came in reverse. So why is it in reverse? I'm hearing like 50-50 because there's some things in your life you don't procrastinate and there's some things that you do. What does she not procrastinate on? Business, what does she? Well, they told me already, but now I'm gonna just ask the question. Self-care, self-love, treating yourself. And then I'm hearing treating yourself special. Sometimes you do get swept away by work and it's time to find balance. You're being called to find balance within yourself, create balance within your life. And it's not like it's an all the time thing. It's like sometimes you get carried away. Like you'll be doing really good with balance. And then boundaries was coming through too, as that pause was there with the B. So they're talking about balance, but boundaries is coming in as a second thought. It's like sometimes you'll be really good with those things, and then you'll just fall out of sync. And the next thing you know, your boundaries are not in place and your balance is out of whack. So what they're saying is it's really important for you to have daily non-negotiables that you do that help to keep you in balance and make sure that you have healthy, safe boundaries. So this is coming through like with yourself, right? It's not even like people take advantage of you. It's kind of like you just get caught up in the worldly things. And then when you get caught up in the worldly things, your spiritual self starts to lack, right? The things for your own spiritual growth and development starts to lack. That's what they're saying. So this is really you versus you. What I'm receiving is your reading is really about you versus you. And I'm hearing the word hard ass, badass, like, but with a gentle spirit, right? It's one of those things where you don't take no mess, right? So this is why it's you versus you, right? I'm hearing the word your own worst critic. You tend to be really hard on yourself. And spirit is saying it's time for you to let that go. Really be in flow with your gentleness. It's okay to be vulnerable and gentle and let others in, right? Let healthy boundaries, right? Healthy boundaries. Now I understand healthy boundaries is sometimes many of us, we are not equipped with boundaries until spirit says, get you some, right? But your message of healthy boundaries is because sometimes your boundaries can be so tough. It's like a wall with barbed wire. And so spirit is saying it's not healthy if it's extreme on one end or the other, right? Now you have raindrops. It says take a chance on them. So as I'm receiving this, what I'm receiving for this is for you. It is speaking of love, right? And I feel like there is a person, but this is also a message just in general. When it comes to love, you tend to again have those walls up, those boundaries up, right? I'm hearing examples, right? What examples did you see by way of love, right? Now, a lot of your belief systems are based on examples you saw. It's also based on things that you personally experienced. So sometimes in the midst of hurt, there were those silent contracts that were created. I'm never experiencing this again. And some of it is past life stuff. Some of it is actually this life. Teenage, heartbreak, high school sweetheart. These are words that are coming through right now. Now, what I'm also being told, because as I kind of glance and I see this blue, Spirit was saying you often had a struggle with speaking your truth. And what I'm receiving is oftentimes you stayed quiet and you did a lot of observing. You did a lot of observing, and people tended to walk all over you. But then when you got a certain age, it's almost like you became the swan, right? And it's not just energetically, it's also physically. Like once you became the swan and you developed a sense of power, is what I'm hearing, then you began shifting into this whole other person. And part of that shift included this rainbow is rainbow. Why did you say rainbow? But first, let's say what you were telling me. This umbrella is like that protection mechanism that you put over yourself to not get rained on, right? Now, why are we saying rainbow? Oh, because what happens is when you allow yourself to be open to receive, as opposed to shielding yourself and hiding yourself from hurt, what you're also doing is shielding yourself and hiding yourself from the rainbows, right? So Spirit is saying have a full spectrum of priorities. Right now, work is very much so important to you, and success is very much so important to you. Spirit is saying there is nothing wrong with that, but as long as you have healthy boundaries. Spirit is telling you not to be someone that gets so caught up. I'm hearing caught up in the rapture of love, but then I also heard the matrix, and it's coming through as in that hustle and bustle, keep going, keep going, keep going. Spirit is saying find a way to have that healthy balance, those healthy boundaries, and still create the wealth, the prosperity, right? That you've been taught that this is the way you get it. Spirit is saying working smarter, not harder. And that working smarter, not harder is being spirit led in a much different way. Now, here's the other thing that's coming through. You're also really connected too. But sometimes there's conflict because your practical mind versus your spirit connection, they battle, right? They battle. So I'm receiving you're definitely really connected, but it's that battle. And through that battle, like Spirit is saying, you have been able to maintain or to obtain a certain degree of success by society standards, by working hard, right? And Spirit is saying, if you think that you have accomplished this now, just wait until you're being 100% spirit led, how different it'll be. Not only will you experience more abundance, more success according to your standards, but you'll also experience less stress, and everything will be happening with more ease and grace, and you'll be attracting more. It's like things will just fall in your lap, it feels like, right? Because the work that you're putting in, it'll be this like continuous cycle of work that's gentle and with ease, so it no longer feels like work, right? No longer feels like work. Now you also have confidence, and it says it comes with time and practice. So what I'm receiving with this confidence is this is coming through as there was a notification that came up. This is coming through as that confidence in your ability to find that balance between the two. So what I'm receiving, oh, and look at her with glasses, because I'm receiving practical mind and spirit led. So look at that sun and where it is. For whatever reason, those glasses in that bag, but look at that sword. She's ready for battle, right? So she's very much so practical, but that light in that sword, it's like the sword of the divine, the sword of God. She's ready. That those glasses feel very practical, very corporate in the sense of like how you make money in society. But then look at that sun on her head. When you look at it, that's spirit guiding her. And she's just sitting there breathing, allowing it all to integrate, right? Breathing. So this is what you're being told. It's time to have confidence, equal confidence, and I can accomplish one by integrating with the other, right? And then you have garden, something lovely will grow from this. So when you are able to combine those two, see again, there's that magic, right? There's that magic. And if you look at her clothes, this really does not look practical for someone that will be sitting in nature. Like she doesn't have that look of someone that's just going to be sitting there, right? You wouldn't expect that. And so what Spirit is saying, expect the unexpected. You are someone that people do not expect to show up from the place of your soul. And they're not saying that like showing up from the place of your soul in and of itself. But what they're saying is what's within your soul, right? The gifts, the magic, right? The luxury within your soul. Most people don't expect that from you. And that dazed and confused that they feel when they see it, right? This is good. So you are definitely meant to combine the two. Like some of us are, we're like totally on one side or the other. And then we learn how to bring in the other side at times, but you are mastering the balance of both equally, right? Because who you serve, you're going to be serving people that are very much so both. Like we are the way we're called to serve, right? And so Spirit is saying now it's time to master the other side of the spectrum. And that other side is your magic. It is your connection. And you too got witch. Justice is coming. So how much are you connecting to your magic? How much are you battling with yourself? And I'm being told it's time for you to slay that dragon. There's childhood stuff that's coming through. Childhood stuff that's coming through. Heart chakra healing. Also, Spirit is saying it'd be a good idea to get more plants or some plants in your house. Green ones, floor plants, ones that can go on the table, but specifically floor plants. A snake plant would be good. That can go in your room. But plants for your living room, just like throughout your house, Spirit is saying, but put more plants, put more greenery in your home. This is going to help you feel connected with your magic, right? It's going to help you feel connected with your magic. And you may find that when you water your plants, you may start to talk to them. You may start to go to them for messages, right? So what Spirit is just saying is finding more pockets of time and energy to begin intermingling with your magic and testing your magic and utilizing your magic. Start with manifesting. That is a very powerful magic. So Spirit is saying this week, set an intention of something that you are choosing to manifest within the next 30 days. Like write it down, connect, and then let it go, like release it. And then in 30 days, come back and look at it and see how it manifested. You have, I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. And it says appreciation and love and enlightenment to that which is source is the ultimate giving back, so to speak. For in your pain or struggle, you have nothing to give back. What you are living is always an exact replication of your vibrational patterns of thoughts. Nothing could be more fair than life as you are living it. For as you are thinking, you are vibrating. And as you are vibrating, you are attracting. And so you are always getting back the essence of what you are giving, right? So as I was reading that, it was coming through, and here's the picture. As I was reading that, it was coming through as in your magic, right? So the more connected you are to your magic, the more you're connected to your divinity, the more you start to feel that magic is being created in your life, right? The more you feel more blessings coming into your life. And I mean in all areas of your life, right? Like it literally will feel like it's just dropping out of the sky, right? Like lately I've been noticing the manifesting has been like that. Like literally speak it, it happens same day, right? There's not a waiting period. Think it, it happens same day. It's been so freaking amazing, right? And so that's what Spirit is talking about, like that ability to connect to your magic, receive magic, right? You've done really great connecting to your practical side. And you talked about the success in work. So it's showing up because of that ability to connect to that. So now Spirit is saying combine that with your magic. Oh my goodness. So yes, you have welcome to planet Earth. You are here to seek joy. And it says, if we were talking to you on your first day here, we would say, welcome to planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And your work here, your lifetime career is to seek joy. As you think thoughts that feel good to you, you will be in harmony with who you really are. And in doing so, you will utilize your profound freedom. Seek joy first, and all of the growth that you could ever imagine will come joyously and abundantly to you. It's powerful, powerful. And now I'm being told to pull a surrender card for you. This is for Vanessa Spirit. What you got? So you got surrender your ego. This is right side up. And then this one was in reverse. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. So this one says, take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. And remember this card right here? Look at where she is, right? Look at where she is. So some days when you don't have work or after work, just go out in nature, right? This is in reverse because Spirit is saying it's time to spend more time there. If you're spending time there at all, it's time to spend more. If you're not spending time there, it's time to spend more, right? And then the surrender your ego, it says cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your growth. So, what I'm receiving in this situation, I'm not necessarily receiving that it's pride to the fifth or 10th power. What I'm receiving, it's more like I told my God brother today when I mentioned ego to him, it's not always pride. Ego comes in many forms. It's fear, it's sadness, it's stress, it's worry, right? It's lack, it's doubt, it's self-sabotage. All of those low vibrating emotions, it falls under the realm of ego, right? So what I'm receiving is some of those things that we talked about, those walls that you have up, those blocks that you put up to avoid hurt. That's coming through as ego. There are some times where that ego is presented as prideful, right? Or people may think, oh, she thinks she's all that. But that's really not what it is, right? It's other things that have created a wall. And because a person can't penetrate the wall, they can't feel your energy, they can't get to know you, then they start judging it and making up in their minds what they think it is, right? So Spirit is saying surrender ego, get in touch with those things that are creating the wall. What made you build that wall in the first place? And then it's time to heal that, right? It's time to heal that. So that's it. Just pull from the top. All right. So you have thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. And again, look, they're in nature. And look at that, getting grounded. Healing the heart chakra, getting grounded. I'm also hearing Mother Maiden Chrome. So you may look into Mother Maiden Chrome and see how it resonates with you. Okay. So that is the message I have for you, Vanessa. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I'm going to look to see if you have been sharing. And if you haven't, let me know how it resonates. So let me get these out of the way so I can actually get to the keyboard. Okay. So let's see. Maya said, I haven't slept in 4 days either. My astral travel is going to be pretty far out. Can't wait to sleep. You know what? Tonight I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping because I'm starting to feel it now. Like my head, I can feel it. I told you guys when we went to eat, I got out the car. I'm like, did I leave the car on? As soon as I said it, it starts beeping because it's push starts. So once the key is away, it'll beep. But then I'm like, wait, I think I hear it. Like it was. I'm just grateful I didn't get out with it and drive. I've done that before in Washington State. So I'm like, yeah, it's time for some sleep. And I'm not going to, because a lot of times I sleep with my phone in the room, but when I wake up, what I'll do is I'll grab it. And then like this morning, I was sending emails, responding to emails. Then I got into delivering those messages. And then, I was just like, I was working from bed. And then by the time I said, I'm going to take a nap before this appointment, it ended up where it was time to get up. So yeah, but it's good because that way I'll actually go to sleep early. Vanessa said, no specific. Okay, I saw that. Michaela said, it sounds exciting, Naya. Vanessa said, daily non-negotiables. I like that. Yes. Vanessa said, I'm a Virgo, hypocritical AF, LOL. My sister brought so many plants that are in our yard. I will water them more. Awesome. And bring some plants into your home, specifically a snake plant, right? Specifically, and I'm being told to tell you, specifically put the snake plant in your room by your bed, right? And I don't know if you're familiar with snake plants, but research them and then you'll know why. Vanessa said, Camilla said, hey, I would like a reading. Okay, awesome. So send it to the Cashapp, Camilla, and the readings are $25. So I'm going to share it with you, although I believe you know what the Cashapp is. And welcome. I'm glad you're here. Why was I putting an exclamation point after it? There is no exclamation point there. That's like me leaving the car on. Vanessa said, lifetime career is to seek joy. Wow. Yes, you are so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. Yes. This is amazing. I am so grateful. So grateful. So I am going to disconnect from Vanessa's energy before I do. And if there's anyone after Camilla that would like a reading, let me know, because if there is no one else, this will be the last one. If there is, let me know now, and then you'll be the last one. So this is for Camilla. Camilla, did you have a specific question, or would you like a general? I'm disconnecting from Vanessa's energy, connecting to Camilla's energy. And also, for those of you that are still on, if you have been guided to work together, if you're feeling it in your soul, let's do it. Let's do it. If Spirit said let's do it, let's do it. If you're feeling it and it's not 100% yes, connect with Spirit. If it's 100% yes, let's do it. Just make sure you get it from Spirit. Because I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to serve. And I'm currently enrolling for the Activating You Mentorship and the Activating You Retreat 2021. So this is for Camilla. Love reading. Ooh, and guess what? I'm excited. And I got pants on today, so let me go on and get up. Let me get up. Because, you know, I got pants on. And I still got some cards from the love decks out. So I didn't put them away. I started to put them away. I started to go put them in their spot because I'm not doing no pick a cards after this. Usually I'll get off and I'll be doing some cards, some readings after this. And it's like, nope, you not doing it. You gonna go to bed. But I didn't put these away. So I like when Spirit does that. So just a general love reading. Let's see. And I'll show you guys the decks I'm using today. Spirit's telling me to share. This is a Money and Law of Attraction cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. This is one I've had forever that I rarely use. And lately, it was one of the ones the Spirit said bring out. And then here's another one. This is Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And then we have the Power of Surrender cards. This one doesn't have a book that goes with it. It's just the cards. And they all have the same bag, just that beautiful sunset. I'm just clearing up the space so I have more room for Camilla's. Yes, Mom, I know. And I was like, okay, we said an hour for the general, hour for the readings. And then and then look, you're on. I didn't even realize my mom said, yes, go to bed. I didn't even realize my mom was still on. But I literally had thought about what came through earlier when I said, okay, I'm going to do it this way. So, but I know sometimes when it comes through, it's like it gets better. And then it's like, so I'm claiming that it'll align. I'm claiming it'll align. And then this one, you guys, I showed just one of the new ones, Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, Amanda Lovelace. I actually love this deck. I love this deck. I've been on a buy some decks kick. So I'm going to use this one. This is one of the new ones, True Love Reading. I'm going to use this one. And this one, y'all, this little deck right here was that one that was $44. We got the Soulmates and the Love Oracles. So we'll see if Spirit has us use these. I know we're using this True Love Readings deck for sure. Okay, and you said General Love, General Love. So Spirit, this is for Mia. And she like information on love. Let me see. Yeah, you said yes. And if you didn't have pants on, no judgment with us. LOL. You know what? Here's the funny thing. You know, because y'all know I am in such a zone. Like I did a video today on my TikTok where I had just woke up. I was in bed with my scarf on. And it's like, listen, this is what happens when we reach a new level of self-love. We just come as we are, right? That's what Spirit be encouraging us to do. Come as you are. So there has been times I'm like, listen, we family. They seen thighs before, but Spirit's like, nah, you better not. They ain't ready for all that jelly. Oh, but I have mastered the getting up without showing my butt when it's necessary to get up. Okay, this is for Camilla. Spirit, what message do you have for her in love? Take these all. Oh, it's only two. Take them both. Okay. And then what? These two also. Okay. Oh. So you guys, I've told you before, when I get decks, I clean them. I showed you guys, I did the video on that, but I don't ever look at every card. So I get excited. I still have old decks where I haven't seen them all, I'm sure, but the new ones, it's like they're all new, all the pictures and stuff. Ooh, so you have the distorted masculine. And look at that. You have the distorted masculine. Can you see all that in that picture? The distorted masculine. And what you're seeing is like a clock being dangled over his head. There is a tank. There's money. The suit is tattered. It looks like bombs. It says bank and police. It looks like he's in a war zone. So, and there's a time clock. So what this is telling me with the distorted masculine is that he's all over the place, focused on the worldly things, right? There's a lot of stress going on with the masculine that you're dealing with. A lot of stress, and that stress is rooted in all of these things. The war is not necessarily an actual war like I'm in the military, but it's more like a war within himself, a war within the world. You know what I mean? A lot of times we are at war with what is going on, I'm hearing, in the environment and what's going on in the world as it relates to safety issues. Also with the clock and the time punch, what I'm receiving is their stress over money, making more, doing more, elevating in work. And really what I am being told is that sun is a representation of it's time for you to heal and really connect to your highest source of power. This is for the masculine, right? It's for the masculine. So that sun is always there. That light is always shining. It's always leading the way. And what I'm noticing is he is facing towards the sun. He's even looking at the sun, but yet his hand is still attached to this time clock. He's still on his knees around the money. He's looking at it. So he's contemplating, but he hasn't made a choice to stand up, stop crawling, stop begging, and stop punching that clock, right? It doesn't mean like stop working your job, but you can work a job, consider it as your investor, and do so with grace, right? Do so with gratitude, which is what's lacking. It's just all stress right now. He's just stressed. He's just very, 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 very stressed. So he's worrying about situations with police. The bank is an indication of having money. And that was what was coming through with the state of the world. But look, there's police right there. So, a lot of Black people right now are afraid, are worried, right? About, am I going to make it home? And that's coming through. And then I'm hearing the Sammy song, Be My Peace, right? Be my peace. I'm hearing that. But as a person sings that to you, their lesson is, you must be your own peace. That is not my responsibility. You see all this going on, who gonna help you get rid of that? That's all you. I didn't create it. That's not my job. And it's not coming from a place of lack of love, but this is you. The garden. Look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the difference, right? And oftentimes when you are in a union, right? Oftentimes when it's a healing journey involved, usually the divine feminine, usually, and again, feminine and masculine isn't always male or female. It's just that in a divine union, one person's the feminine, one person's the masculine, right? Look, this is you. Look at the difference. Look at that. Doors are opening. You have an open door. And look, you kind of relax. And I'm feeling a lot of your stress comes from the stress of this masculine, right? It comes from the stress. Now, also what Spirit is saying is you can't see the forest for the trees. So it's almost like you're shielded from a lot and you're in a peaceful zone. You are now beginning to tap into your magic. Even the home is shielded. Look at that. Like, I didn't even see it as a home. I just saw the door, but that's a whole house right there. There's a unicorn over there, and look at her just relaxing, and flowers, and you know what I mean? And you're growing, you're elevating. I'm being told to tell you to take a break. This isn't over, but it's about putting things into perspective. Take a break, take a time out, right? Forgiveness is coming through very strong, but it's not even just about forgiving your masculine. It's also about forgiving yourself. Sometimes you may beat yourself up for accepting certain things, right? So Spirit is saying taking a break and really allow yourself to be in that zone and that energy of peace, right? So we have, and look, it says, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. So definitely talking about self-forgiveness. But also, again, I'm being told there's some forgiveness that you are being called to give to the masculine. Now, again, when you give forgiveness to self, you automatically will be able to give it to others, right? A diamond in the rough is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing rooted and grounded. Get rooted and grounded in your divinity, in your beauty, right? And what they're telling me is it's not just your energetic beauty, it's also your physical beauty. I'm being told to tell you to look in the mirror and really see your beauty, and then feel the beauty of your energy. See the beauty of your physical appearance and feel the beauty of your energy, and do it at the same time. And this will elevate your vibration in a way that allows you to increase your love for self, and that will allow you to increase what you're attracting in love. So what I'm hearing is multiple suitors. If you don't already have multiple people after you, I don't mean like knuckleheads that may think, oh, she fine, let me spit game. I mean like real serious, solid potential suitors. So what's going to happen is, if this masculine don't get it together, right? And as you're in this zone right here, and as you're practicing forgiveness, right? And you're in prayer and in meditation and being guided. Look, she's cloaked by the angels, right? A lot of protection happening here. And then when we look at this card, maturity, you're also being guided, right? But I'm also being told you're more mature than your divine counterpart. You're more mature. Like, and it came through here spiritually, right? But even mentally, you're more mature. So the more you elevate, the more you grow, the more you two become imbalanced. So you are going to have, because of all this work that you're doing, you are going to have multiple suitors that you're very compatible with. And so what Spirit is saying is, it's up to you to be open to those new, I'm hearing those new pursuits, right? Those suitors that are pursuing you. It's up to you to be open to that, right? And I'm hearing Aladdin, magic carpet ride, and I'm hearing a whole new world, right? So what Spirit is saying is that there's going to be someone that will have more money, more patience, more positive energy, and more concern for your well-being. And it's not so much that they're a better person per se, like the other person is bad. It's just that they have done their healing and they're on that never-ending story continuing to maintain. So they're just more in a solid space energetically, right? And so sometimes we can hold on to what's familiar, or we can do trauma bonding, or we can refuse to abandon someone, but yet they're abandoning themselves daily by not doing the work and just looking at the sun, but not walking towards it, not getting off your knees, not standing up, right? And what Spirit is saying, you don't have time for that. You don't have time to wait around for someone to get it together, right? That'll hold you down. Now with this maturity card, what do you have here? Excuse me, what I'm being told to tell you, it's also time for you to step into your feminine energy, right? So in this union, you may have found that you've had to be tough. You've had to be strong. You've had to be, I'm hearing the breadwinner, but they're also saying something about backbender. Like you're carrying the weight, right? You're carrying the weight. You're the glue that's holding it together, right? And it's almost now what's happening is Spirit is guiding you to write out those soul contracts and break it, right? Break that cycle. But it's not even a cycle of you're focusing on anything between you and them. It's more or less you figuring out within yourself, why have I accepted this? Why have I attracted this? Why have I felt like this is all that I deserve, right? Or why am I taking on the responsibility that it's my job to nurture this union or this person or to feed their soul when they aren't feeding themselves, right? It's like you over here fixing full course meals energetically, and they'd rather just have a cup of noodles, putting in all this effort, and they don't even know how to accept it. And then you have the sacred woman. This is you. This is you, the sacred woman. And when you think in terms of a sacred woman, right? It's funny too, because your mom's reading that book. But when you think, so it may serve your highest good to read it too. When you think in terms of the sacred woman, when you are a sacred woman, you are a portal of life, right? You are the divine incarnated, right? So why would you accept less than what you deserve? Spirit is literally saying, what is that all about? This isn't judgment from spirit. This is a question spirit is telling you to ask yourself. What is that all about? Where did that come from? What is that rooted in? Why am I here? And how, right? How do I release it? How do I heal it? First, determine if you're willing, like surrendering to the outcome. Now, are you willing, if this turns out where you get these offers, right, from multiple suitors, all good, right? Now, if you got a multiple suitors and they're all equipped, right, much better than when you with, one question that's coming up is, right now, you would be more inclined to choose that person, right? So as you heal more and as you understand it's not your responsibility, now you're going to have these qualifiers equally. So spirit is saying it's going to require you connecting with spirit. So let's go back to this card where that guide is standing over you, directing you, guiding you, protecting you. Look at you in that light bubble with that guide, right? With that ancestor, with that angel, right? And she's just happy, being guided, free, right? So then we talked about this is you being in that space of not being connected to your femininity. And then here we have the sacred woman. And you feel the femininity oozing out of this. So in order for you to find or attract love that is suited for your soul, right? It's going to require you to allow yourself to be in that feminine space, because when you are attracting your match, there must be balance, right? Of course, you have your divine feminine side and your own divine masculine side, but when there's too much or an imbalance, then it creates imbalance, which is what has been happening in your previous relationship. One more card, Spirit said, look on the bottom. Inner peace. It's all about your peace, right? It's all about your peace. And you are being told to read books and to journal, right? Read books and to journal. But what Spirit is saying is reading the books that you're being guided to read. So that book that your mom is reading, Spirit said it does definitely serve your highest good to read it. But again, you may not choose to go from beginning to end, right? You may only be guided to read certain parts of that book, and then you may be guided to another book. So when you look at this, Spirit is saying it's time for you to start being guided in all things. This is the path that Spirit is guiding you on and telling you to get on. And so what I'm going to ask is, what is the surrender? What is the surrender card for you? What's the surrender message for Kimmy Spirit? What's the surrender message? Oh, you got two at one time. One time, you see it? So you have surrender the drama. That's a whole lot of drama in that first card. It says, no matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. So that's that. And then you also have surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. Right? So stop overthinking it. Here we are again. Turn it over to spirit. Spirit is saying it's time for you to get in that zone of being 100% spirit led. And then when spirit guides you, surrender with unwavering faith. No matter what it is, no matter how out of your comfort zone it feels, do it anyway. Do it anyway. I'm hearing the takeover, right? Spirit is, I don't know if Jay-Z sang that, the takeover. It feels like it's a rap song, and I don't know, it feels like it's Jay-Z, but I don't know. That's what it feels like, the energy of Jay-Z. So I'm gonna pull from here too, but what are we getting from here? A direct message from, okay, so what you're gonna give me is a message from the masculine that's here now. And then you're gonna give me one from the suitor, the one that is the one out of the plethora of those that will be coming. So this first one is from the one that's present, the one who that chaotic energy is speaking of, right? Okay. So give me a direct message from that one. The present one from that card. What would he like to say? I'm hearing slow down. So it says the thoughts of you with someone else drives me crazy. Can't make it up. So listen, you being with someone else drives him crazy. He cannot take it, but yet he's not willing right now to do what he must do to keep you. It drives him crazy. He don't want to see you with nobody else. However, he's got work to do. If he'd like it to be like this, he's got work to do, but it has to be for him. It cannot be just so he will not see you with no one else, right? So now let's get a message from the one that is the suitor coming in, right? Coming in. Now, that one. Now, granted, these are scenarios if he chooses not to do the work, right? If he chooses to do the work, he could be the one. But as of right now, if he stays on this path, he is going to have to get used to you being with somebody else. So the one out of these qualified suitors, if things go the way they are, it says, our relationship was different and special. Other people didn't understand it. And so as I'm looking at this, I feel like this person coming in is very much of a giver. They really feed and nurture and cater to your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and your heart chakra and your root. So you may find that it's time for you to heal these chakras, solar plexus, sacral, root, and heart, right? And then look at this. You guys, you guys may have a lot of chemistry, specifically sexual chemistry, right? There's a lot of fireworks between you guys, but sometimes that fire gets so hot that one or both of you gets burned, right? So one more. Who is this one from? The one that's coming is what I heard. Okay, one more. What message? What message? That one on top. Any of those? Nope. Okay. It says, I wasn't honest with you about my feelings at the time. And they just said, say it, Nahkila, because I heard that so quick. And I'm like, is that the message? So what they're telling me is this person, again, look, this is definitely the same person, right? But what I'm being told is this person may be someone that you already know, and they haven't expressed how they feel yet. You may have an inkling that they do like you, but because they haven't said it, it's kind of, I think they like me, but I don't know. Well, they're not speaking their truth. They're hiding their feelings. They're acting like they just one of the homies, and you know what I mean? But they really secretly are into you, right? And I'm being told to pull from this is the one that's already there. Look, can't make it up. Definitely still the one that's already there. It says, I want to contact our mutual friends to ask about you. So this person is not trusting. Like this person is feeling the energy behind them being in this energy of disarray and in all that chaos, right? And so although you have expressed your love, they're in such a space where they're lacking trust that they're just like, listen, I would really like to call some folks. And I'm hearing that song, don't ask my friends, don't ask my neighbors, don't ask the friends I hang around. Come to me. I'm hearing that, right? But they're in a space where, because they're on some shady stuff, and I'm not even feeling that shady stuff is like dealing with a third party, but shady stuff as in they're not being real and honest with where they really are emotionally, spiritually, and mentally right now. Like they're attempting to shield you or hide it from you. They're attempting to do it on their own, but they just really feel lost. But again, Spirit saying it is not your responsibility. You be that example through the life that you're choosing for yourself, which is this, right? It's this. It's this. Right? It's this. Look at all that solar plexus. Solar plexus showing up in all these cards. So is the heart chakra. A lot of grounded too. It's that. It's that. When you look at these cards, it is so different. So different from this. That's not a match. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. So people can either serve as a boost or a weight. As of right now, where this person is, they are serving as a weight, and you deserve a boost. You deserve a boost. Okay? So that is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I'm going to see what you've been saying. Hi, Lauren. Welcome. Oh, thank you, Maria. I am right now. So Lauren, when you say hi, can I ask, the readings are 25. So what I would like to recommend you do, because now this is my time to let me see, if you have sent it, we're going to do it. If you haven't sent it, then I'm going to practice some self-love and self-care, and I'm going to get some rest. And if you haven't sent it, what I would recommend is that you join us next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We always do these mini readings after, and they're 25. And I see that you haven't sent it. So Spirit is letting me know through my mother and through Maria that it is time for me to get some sleep. And I know the reason why you're being guided to tell me that is because I caught my second wind and I'm not feeling sleepy no more. And that's what happens. So I done caught my second wind, y'all. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, Lauren, I am so glad that you are here. I would love to have you. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And again, we go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So please join us. And then if you'd like a mini reading, then by all means, come in and get one. Okay. Let's see. Camilla said, wow. I take it resonates. So yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Naya said, oh, yes, get some rest. We've been on here like 3 hours. LOL, sweet dreams. And thank you again. You are so welcome. And thank all of you. We are going to start having it where the first half with the general messages are an hour. And then we're going to move into the second half where we do 9 readings within the hour. That'll be the max for each one, and it'll be within the hour. So what Spirit is also telling me is to create more structure. So like in my group sessions, each person has their individual time, but it's timed, right? And then my one-on-ones, it's timed. So Spirit is saying this is no different. So we're going to do the hour general, and then we're going to go into the minis, 9 readings within that hour. So it'll end up being a little over an hour because, so yeah, but right about an hour. Camilla said, is healing. Thank you for all this information. I am definitely ready to meet a better match. I am so excited, and you deserve it. You deserve it, right? You deserve it. And I know it's not easy to walk away when someone's in their chaos because you always desire to assist them, right? It can be easy if we choose it. And sometimes it doesn't feel good, but if we just choose, no matter what, it's about choosing you over anyone, right? Choosing you over anyone. You just deserve better. So, yep, let them do what they're going to do, and you just focus on you. Oh, thank you, Mom. My mom said, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Mom. Good night, Michaela. Thank you so much. And there's still 4 people on. So thank you guys for staying until the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Camilla said, nope, it's easy. Already walked away. You know what's so funny? I was feeling that when I was given the reading that possibly you weren't together. But what I'm being told to tell you is the residue, right? Clean it, because there's still some there, right? Clean it. Stay in that energy of nope, it's easy, but now clean the residue, because what I'm showing is like a hook. Right? Like a hook, one of those hooks, like a fish hook. Even the fish line is real thin, but it's there. So you may decide to do a cord cutting, right? Now, if you know how to do it yourself, that's fine. Or if you like to schedule a session with Gillian, that'd be great. Her link's in the description box of every video, and she is offering $50 for the sessions. If you do one, you put in energy, right? Because otherwise it's going to be $77. Put in energy. If you choose to do the 4 package, you would put in energy 4. If you choose to do the 12 package, you put in energy 12. So this will reduce the price. So you're paying $50 for the sessions. Okay. But if you can do it yourself, by all means, do it yourself. If you require assistance, then I would definitely recommend that. Okay. Camilla said cord cutting. I'll look it up. Yes, it's powerful. It's very powerful, especially when you're dealing with connections that have once been really deep that you're now being guided to let go of. Because the thing is, even if you have walked away, when you share that kind of bond with someone, there's often cords, and there's soul ties, and this will just disconnect. And unless they're disconnecting too, periodically, you would still disconnect those cords, right? Because they can grow back. Right? They can grow back if you both aren't on board with disconnecting them. And 9 times out of 10, the one that's in the chaotic energy would rather continue to leech off of your energy, unconsciously, of course, most of the times. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to put these decks away today. Wait, what's today? Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow. We're going to put them away tomorrow. Well, I love you guys for being you, and I thank you for allowing me to serve you and spending this time with me. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Make sure under the pick a card readings, you let me know what are some topics that you would like to have covered, because I would love to know what you would like me to cover. So far, the money message one was a request, and there's like 2 others that were requests. So when you guys give me either the topic or question, they are definitely going in the rotation of pick a card reading topic. So whenever you watch one, just put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Let me know. And if you guys have my email, those of you that I either work with or have worked with, you guys have my email. So send it to me via email and just put pick a card, and then I'll be able to find it easier. Okay. So, anyways, have a good night. Cord cutting? Put it in the chat, right? You mean, what are you asking? Gillian's information, or what are you asking? I'm gonna wait until your response come in, and then I'm gonna relax. It looks like Javi is on live doing the bedtime stories. The notification came in at 8:03. It's 8:47, so I don't know if he's still on, but that's what my notification said. I'm just waiting for what to know what you're asking me to put in the chat. Listen, while I'm waiting, I'm seeing all these inboxes I got, and they're all voice recordings. So it's not like I can just go, except yours, Alata. You're welcome. Oh, that was from my message I left earlier. And yours wasn't even a message. It was just I was thinking about you. I don't even think that was today. I think yours was a different day. I was thinking about you. Oh no, was it today? Anyways, I was just thinking about you and just left you a hi, how you doing? Sending you love. But so yeah. Well, Camilla, your response to what you're asking me to put in the chat isn't coming through. I believe you have my email, so you can definitely email to me what you're asking. Yeah, just email me what it is you're asking me to put in the chat. Okay. So I thank you guys again. Have a good night, and I leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, that is not the button.